Good evening, ladies and gents, and welcome back to this week's GKP Live. As you can see, you have I, and it is just I this evening. Rick is somewhere within the internet highway trying to make his way in here. I think I may have sent him a wrong link, so hopefully, fingers crossed, I've now got the right one, and he shall be with us shortly. The other one being his fingers crossed. Crafty will be with us later on, but he'll be working back a little bit later and with us around about 8:30ish. Which brings me to another one. The next one being, guys, is Daz is taking a bit of a time out. I think the vast majority of you can already understand as to why. He needs a little bit of time. He needs some processing to do. And he needs a little bit of time to be able to help himself do that and get over what's been a pretty rough end to 2024. Hopefully, fingers crossed, mate, you get the well-deserved rest that you need and you'll be back with us as if nothing ever happened. But for now, ladies and gents, till such time, I wish him all the very best, and I'm sure you guys do too. And hopefully he'll be right back where he belongs in the very near future. So for now, until such time, you've got me. And all I would like to say is Merry Christmas to you all. A little bit of a negative start there, but it's for a positive outcome in the end. What I would like to do is wish everybody out there, first of all, a Merry Christmas to you all and a massive thank you for all the support that you have shown both me and the panel and the channel throughout the last, well, however long it's been now. Was it 2 years doing the lives? But 2.5, nearly 3 years since the start of the channel, with a bit of a total different start than what is actually now the GKP. Originally, it was a little bit of a gaming channel, but progressed into this. So, hopefully, those that need to find their way here, i.e. Rick, you're out there somewhere. Matt Howe was going to be joining us and was looking forward to it, but he ain't too good. So he's at present resting up, and hopefully he's feeling better for Christmas period as well. So that's where we're at. That's what we're up to. And till they all join us, it'll be me till such time. We've got a few more people in that's giving it the old usual, which is a good evening, everyone, from Cowboy. Darren says, evening, everyone. Jeff's giving a good evening. Oh, and here he is. He's found it where it's like Wonka Vision. Yeah, shall appear. Sorry, mate, I sent it wrong link, didn't I? I cocked up. I set up 2 lives today, to obviously mine and obviously Lee's. I've got to make a couple of alterations. But when I was setting them up, I thought, I'll send the links out now. And I obviously sent you.
I was on a koi auction, mate.
You're on a koi auction page, sat there on your own. So my apologies. I hope I haven't done that with anybody else. Actually, thinking of that, if I have, I
can't find it on the top of your chat either. So I couldn't get on that one.
I better send Crafty another one just in case I've sent him wrong one too. Let's make sure I do, because if he ends up in there, he'll be in there till 22nd of December.
I might have been. I was just enjoying myself, looking at all the nice fish in there.
Well, we've got Geordie Coy. Dave says, evening, Anthony. Morris, good evening. Sorry, my bad. You're talking to somebody else within the comments there. But good evening, Geordie Coy. Dave, hope you're well, mate. Phil Horton says, hey, guys, thank you very much for joining us, mate. And Phil Hutchins says, evening, everyone. Hope you all have a great Xmas. And likewise, mate, to you and your family. Now, what I would like everybody to do is do me a huge favour. Go out there quickly to your drinks cabinet, wherever it might be, and join me in an, and Rick, obviously, being a pro master at this, join us in a Christmas drink. And we can do a quick, now somebody's told me I've got to do this, and I've got to use the Christmas cup. So bear me 1 second, Rick, while I go get some alcohol to put in said Christmas cup. And then I'm going to join you. Because I've just been
quite busy. I'll tell you what, it's just popped in my head as well. On the 24th, I would do a quiz, man. Ah, yes. I've got this sorted. Right, so we'll do a quiz on the 24-hour live. And obviously there'll be a prize for the winner of the quiz, won't there? How can we do a live quiz, Gaz?
A live quiz, there's actually a couple of programs you can get to do it that you can build into StreamYard that actually does. I'm going to join you with a bottle of 19 Crimes.
Bit sweet, bit's all right. Look at that.
No, and I'm going to be a heathen.
In a mug.
And do it out of a mug, yeah. Just so that every time I use it, I can go, Merry Christmas, everyone.
Nice.
In the spirit of Christmas and all.
So what we could do, mate, is we could do a question every hour, and the person that can answer all the 24 questions wins a special prize on the 24-hour. They've got to watch the whole thing then, haven't they? That's like punishment for the viewer as well as the host.
That's not a bad idea. And I know you did have a little bit of a discussion and a couple of people asking about the 24-hour. As of now, Vince did explain it, but the reason behind it is, cheers, Rick, Merry Christmas.
Cheers. Oh, it says beer. Look at that. I couldn't have done that any better, could I?
Beer. What we're intending doing is doing the 24-hour and doing it from Perfect Aquatics. We have the all clear and the heads up to go ahead doing it. The reason why we moved it to the 1st of this, was it the 1st of March? Let me double check.
March and then April. Oh, I don't know.
The 1st of March was a Saturday, which is the reason why we were going to do it on a weekend. Rather than having it on a Thursday night, people having to get up. If we do the live from start, let's say, well, example, roughly, I don't know when it's going to start, but if we started at 12 o'clock on Saturday afternoon and then carried it through till 12 o'clock Sunday afternoon, that means everybody can still then get up the following day as normal for work on Monday. So that's the idea. So we're going to go with the 1st of March of doing the 24-hour live, and we're going to be doing it at Perfect Aquatics. I believe that's the central area. That way there'll be a few more chances for a few giveaways, prizes, koi appreciation, anything I can grab off of the Perfect Aquatics shelves and stick out there as a freebie. I am going to do. Sorry, Pete, but I'm going to do. And hopefully we'll be able to get the money that I've had put in as donations from all you guys is going to go towards purchasing whatever we can from there. And then we're going to have that put up as prizes to be given away for everybody within the community that joins us for the full 24-hour period. Hopefully we will have Mr. Tate with us that's going to come down and do some koi appreciation and the rest of it, which means having all those different types of fish down there, we can grab any fish at any time and talk through one, and Mr. Tate can do a 55-minute talk on each type of koi that we can get his hands on, which means technically out of the 24 hours, we only need to do 5 minutes out of every hour.
And I can just ask a question between that.
Yeah. And just keep them going, couldn't you? Just keep them going for another 5 mintes on the topic. So
24 questions. Yeah. 24 giveaways.
Job's done. That's it. Yeah. But it all in the aid of charity for Alzheimer's or whichever one we actually choose.
Well, yeah.
Dementia, whichever it be, one of the two. At the end of the day, is the similar sort of, but that's what I'm going to set up. But come the new year, that will be up and will be live, and there'll be a link to it on both my Facebook group pinned at the top and also on my YouTube channel. And anyone that's interested or wants to make a donation towards helping out those in need is more than welcome to do so. And the more we can keep adding to it, the better. But that is the process, and that's what we're going for. So hopefully it will be.
Found a nice mince pie for you.
Mince pie.
Mince, look.
Oh, well, that's all right. I'll just hang about.
You opened the wrong bottle of red wine. That was for Christmas, Gary.
It probably was for Christmas, but I have opened it. Apple and shush.
Found that in the cupboard.
I don't know what you're talking about. I went to the drinks cabinet and found a drink. And,
drinking it actually out of a cup?
Yes, because Sarah, who purchased me the cup, wanted me to wish everybody a Merry Christmas every time I had a drink out of it. I've got mince pies that I can eat that are actually mince pies. They're maple and pecan tarts. because I can't stand mince. Thank you.
Not even real mince anymore.
It's not even nice even when it was real mince. Rank, horrible, disgusting things. So yeah, that's the Christmas announcements. Come and gone.
I missed it because I was on the auction, mate.
Well, Daz is taking some time out, mate.
I did see that.
He's going to be having a bit of a break and giving himself some well-earned rest that he needs to hopefully be back with us in the very near future. The sooner he can get over what's been a crap couple of months for him, mate, the better. So we wish him all the very best.
100%.
Yeah. I just don't want to put. There's no pressure, mate. You are always going to be my right-hand man, and the sooner you're back, the better. But when you're ready and when you're able, mate, that's all I want everybody to know. And everybody wishes you all the very best. Dave Bradley says, Merry Christmas, everyone. Kelly Nob says, evening and a Merry Christmas. Fanfret Steve says, evening all. Thank you for joining us. Rocket Boy says, thinking of you, Daz. I'm sure he'll be greatly appreciated, mate. Shasha's DIY Koi Pond says, same Merry Christmas. We've got Mark says, a good evening, Rick.
Evening, Mark.
Even Jiggs has said Rick's copying Matt with the deer on his wall. If you look literally on your left shoulder.
Yeah, I know. Oh, my left.
You've actually got a deer
right shoulder, but yeah.
Going out your head. He can't join us tonight. I did say to him, if you feel as if you can't do, and actually what I will do is just in case, because I probably sent him wrong link too, is I'll share in that one as well. Otherwise, if he does choose to join us, he'll be in wrong channel too. I did send him a link saying, if you want to come on, mate, and join us, you're more than welcome. And he sent one back saying, I was really looking forward to. I says, oh, mate, if you're that bad, I said, you could join us from your deathbed and you could come on in your nightgown and your Wee Willie Winkies type out and do a bit of the old Scrooge imitation. And we can have the ghost of Christmas present, past and future come and pay you a visit. Anyway, he weren't down for none of it.
He's still probably hung over from his Christmas do with the missus.
LOL, you don't need me, do you? He's just replied back.
Yeah, we don't. Take the night off, Matt.
Matt, there you go, Matt. If you're watching.
I've got the deer.
We've got the deer on his shoulder. He's already replaced.
Mine's a vegetarian one, look. Made of... I don't know
if he's watching, but if he is, I'm going to guess I'm going to get a couple of LOLs off him in a bit. But we have got some questions. We've got quite a few this evening. We've also got one which you definitely going to have to answer because I ain't got a clue. And you can, it was your question. So I hope you've got more of an idea than I.
That was in a lucid moment when I thought of something.
When you thought of something and then thought, God damn, I shot myself in foot. This could be really difficult to answer. I did drop your reply back, but we'll give you just to give you a chance and the opportunity to remember what you said. How many different influential factors are involved to determine the outcome in Koi's development?
I don't know.
That gives you a chance now for when we actually talk about that topic for you to think of a good answer to your question. Let's see what the audience think. How many different influential factors are involved to determine the outcome in Koi development? That is one question from this guy from New Forest Koi.
I just wanted to hear you say
it. Which one? The influential?
I don't know, all of them.
That was a bit of a mouthful, fair. But yeah, that's the first one we've got. And then we have got a couple of other ones that have been posted in Facebook, which is the first one. Let's bring on the hang about. Let's go to the bottom of the comments and make sure I've not Kelly's got a glass of Di Serrano. Nice. That's a nice drink, that actually.
Di Serrano or Di Serrano?
Yeah, Di Serrano. And Coke.
Di Serrano. Oh, Italian. That's almond milk, isn't it, or something? No, marzipan juice.
It's a marzipan, yeah. It tastes like marzipan, yeah. Gwen's Gamble says, cheers, guys. Cheers, Gwen. Merry Christmas.
It was nice to you.
Let's have a quick check through. Make sure we've not messed up. We've got a cheers from Jigs, cheers from Tom, from Dave Thompson. Good evening, beautiful people, and Merry Christmas to all from the Autistic Koi Keeper. Good evening, mate. Thanks for joining us. In a mug, Gaz, you're a savage, 100%. I did indeed, Gaz, bruv. And I've forgotten what that one was.
I don't know. We've been clearing out some units today. And the stuff going out, mate.
That's right.
Mental. Some of the tiles. So Sean, the boss, his son runs a like a hotel refitting business. So they do like 200 bathrooms and whatever. So
yeah,
they order something and end up with spare baths and spare taps and spare tiles, and they're cleaning out one of the units, and it's just like it's mad. The stuff is going to go to a skip or whatever because
but the thing is they schedule a certain amount and a certain amount for damages, so they're ordering that X amount of stuff, and if they don't use that amount of stuff or lose it, then they won't be able to order the same amount next year, and if they fall short, then that comes out of the profits and it all goes tits up. So
anyway, so Vince's pond might have the most beautiful sort of marble effect tiles or whatever going on around him as he's doing a bathroom pond.
Nice. So he's going to.
I don't know. It's mad. It blows my mind. It just the stuff.
Tons of it.
Wasted.
It's scary, mate, when you see a site coming to end of its completion and you got the last 2, maybe 3 plots. The amount of stuff that gets skipped off and binned off that's brand new is unreal. It's mad. It is wastage to an extent, but if they didn't purchase it in when they needed it and they didn't have it, it would cost them more in the long run. So it's all factored in. So,
but there must be an outlet for it to some degree.
Yeah, I would imagine there is, man.
Oh, there is. It was like I don't know, ants on honey. I was going to say flies on shit, but that's a bit rude, isn't it? Ants on honey's better.
I don't think on this show we have to worry about saying the words like flies round shit, mate. I think you're good. I think we've established that we use everything and far worse.
But they're all bad. So my boss, me, we had an electrician in, Vince, and the student, and it's just stuff. You go, oh wow, there's 50 spotlights being dumped.
Yeah.
Like
it's mad, isn't it?
Pretty fast. All this stuff is like
I've seen them on sites where they've thrown packs of roof tiles, and I literally smash them all so they can't be used.
No, it is mad. But yeah, we try and do what we can, but there wasn't any polytunnel hoops amongst it. Gutted.
Yeah, I've seen them taking like 3.6 meter lengths of CLS scants, timber frame, stud work, and cutting them in half and cutting them in half again just to throw them in a skip. Perfectly brand new, full packs. Just mad, crazy. This is a bit of good news. Susan says, "Hi guys, I finally found a fish vet. He's coming today. Unfortunately, I found my crap. Unfortunately, I found my Goshiki dead this morning, but still have other sick koi. Gutted for you for the loss, but hopefully you might be able to get to the bottom of it now, Susan, and find out what's going on. That's a positive from the negative. Just that one wasn't soon enough."
She's had an ongoing bacterial problem, isn't she?
Yeah.
Hopefully,
fingers crossed, she can get on top of it and get it sorted. Brian says evening. Mark says evening.
Evening.
Other channels could all put out a community post, 100%, mate. Yeah, when I get the link, I will send it to everybody that's interested, that wants to share it as well. At the end of the day, the more money that we can get in, it's not for us, it's for them, it's for the charity. The more money that they can get brought in, the more it can ease the suffering for somebody and some families and their loved ones. So, yeah, 100%, mate. That's a brilliant idea.
Got to be good.
Let's have a quick catch up, make sure we haven't missed any questions. There we go. Yeah, yes, all the very best, Daz. Such a nice man. Hope you're feeling better soon, mate. From Famo Koi.
Another nice man. Two nice men together.
100%. Honest to God, you couldn't ask to meet a nicer bloke than Daz. And that is genuine. That is 100%. And to see him as he is right now, I just hope that he gets well soon. That's it. and nothing more really needs to be said. I don't want to dwell on it because I don't want him feeling like an ass, and I don't want him to think that's, he ain't letting us down. I want him to just be right and get back to being himself.
Go fishing. That's what he needs to do.
Yeah, chill out, man. Yeah, just relax and just do whatever it is it needs to do.
He don't even relax his fishing though, does he? He's the only one that actually tries. Isn't it? You go fishing with him, and he's the one that tries hardest, isn't he?
He is, mate. He is the one. he actually the one that gets proper keen as mustard for it, and it paid off this time. Last time we went, didn't it? Cowboy says, "Evening, everyone. I recently spoke about my bacterial issue in my grow-on pond. I've lost 2 of my grow-ons. I have dosed the pond with aquaflavin, and now I have used Columbo side effects at the recommendation. Has it worked? As recommended. Yeah. Has it worked, mate? Has it had any positive? Has it done anything good? Seen any different results? Is there anything else? A dose rate? Is there, as a recommended dose rate? Is there anything else recommend I could do? Cheers, guys. What are you still trying to achieve? Have you still got they've still got the problem? Have you still got the issue?
That's the problem. It's difficult without knowing the whole circumstance and what's occurring.
Yeah. Oh, we might as well. Yes, mate. You still got the issue. You still got the problem. Then my suggestion would be the same as what we've suggested for Susan, mate. You want to see if you can get in touch with Lancashire Fish Health and get them to send you out a test kit for the amount that you're going to keep putting in, trying different treatments, mate. It might be as worthwhile getting that fish or one of your fish tested to find out what they're actually suffering from, what bacterial issue it is. And then if needs be, hopefully you can get the right treatment that you need for that. Or, as suggested last week, you can contact Rick or you can contact Crafty at Perfect Aquatics and get some professional help from them gentlemen and see how they can help assist you with it, unless you've already done that, mate. Then the next stage, if you're getting nowhere and doing nothing, your next stage is to identify what bacterial issue you've got. Because that's the worst one. You could continue treating with different products. And if it's not the right stuff for the right job, then you're wasting your money.
Don't work. Yeah, it is a tricky one. But you got to follow the right path and you make sure if everyone else checks out, if your water conditions are correct, you make sure there's no other issues in terms of parasites or toxins, and it's a bacterial problem, then off the shelf products you're going to struggle with.
Yeah,
antibiotics is the best way, but it's a nightmare getting into fish. Most vets will just go not interested.
Yeah,
but it's one of those, isn't it? There is ways and means, and if you can't do it, depending on how bad the problem is, what the problem is,
yeah, that's what I mean. You could continue trying off the shelf products and spend more than what it would cost to have the fish tested to find out if it's something that you can cure via anything other than antibiotics in first place. So that would be my next suggestion for you, mate.
It all comes down to numbers of fish you've got, the value to you or the fish, whatever. It's going to cost you a couple £100 to send one off to Paula or whoever.
I think it's about 90 quid, 80, 90 quid, I think, roughly. I don't think it's all that crazy.
To be honest, I don't know, because also you've got to ship the fish to them. So that's a cost.
Yeah.
They're going to do.
Well, I think there's a couple of ways they can do it. You can either ship a fish to them, or you can take a sample and ship the sample to them, which is they send out the product, and all you then do is return it in the package provided post.
If they can do that now, that's even better, isn't it? If you can package a sample of the fish, it's going to survive, bacteria will survive and whatever. It is a tricky one. It's one of those things that pops up every time, doesn't it? Don't know. Sometimes.
Boys. He says they've been on treatment. I haven't been feeding them, worrying about stripping weight off them. Don't worry about weight, mate. They can go 6 months without eating. You might lose a little bit of body to them, but you know, at the same time, you still need food and energy to fight off whatever they've got coming in.
I'd carry on feeding at a low level. And if there's a bacterial problem, they'll feed no problem, innit?
They'll feed with big holes in the side.
So yeah, they still need energy to fight. At the end of the day, if you're a person and you've got a problem, if you starve yourself, you're compounding the problem rather than helping.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's one of the worst ways, isn't it? That's when most people end up going further and further downhill because they don't get anything down themselves when they're feeling worse or feeling ill. You know yourself that you if you ain't eating right, you ain't living right.
I don't know. I'm always eating, mate.
Exactly. I look at you. You're a fighting fit human being.
I'll eat every opportunity.
That's fit and healthy.
I'm just gonna eat.
Exactly. You're just going to eat what? Cheese and crackers? Have you got them? Are you ready? You've got a platter of something, haven't you?
I've got a chicken Kiev waiting.
A chicken Kiev.
I don't know quite where to put the computer. I've got so many lights in here, everywhere.
You want to get them all in at once. What you need to put is a camera further. Oh, look at that! Another reindeer up there.
This is the only corner I got without lights in. But I do feel a bit like it is my deer on the shoulder.
Susan says there, you got that right, Gaz. If I could have found a vet 3 months ago, I would have saved money in the long run. It's one of them things. We do what we think we should do. We try what we can do. And if that don't work, then you've got to... I'm going to say it because I think that's where Rick was going. Right. If you've got a pond full of fish and your value of your fish is, let's say, 50, 60, 70, 80 quid, you know, the cheap fish, and you just got them. Is it worth putting thousands of pounds worth of treatment into them if that's what it's going to take to put them right? Now, a lot of people might say, yeah, well, that's ethically the right thing to do. It is, and I would agree. But sometimes if the pros outweigh the cons, there's another option you can go down, but not a lot of people agree with that.
Yeah, it's all a balance. At the end of the day, like I say, if you've got 200 quid's worth of fish and it's going to cost you $2,000 to sort them, but the thing is, it might cost you $2,000 to try and sort them out.
And that's the thing. So, try and might still not cure them. What happens then?
There's no cures. That's the terror. My issue is a lot of these treatments you buy say, oh, this treats this, treats that, does whatever, and that's absolute nonsense. You know, acroflavin might be antibacterial in its nature. So's tea tree oil, so honey, so's a lot of other things, so's copper. But by putting it in your pond, you're not going to solve a severe bacterial problem. But it's sold as that it will.
Yeah.
You know, it's got its place, but it's not going to do that.
Yeah.
Antibiotics are the only thing that might help, but at the end of the day, you're not curing a fish. You might get a fish to overcome a problem.
You're
still in that weird place of,
if you add something new, do you have that same trouble of that fish?
It is such a tricky. Fish are a nightmare because they live in an environment where stuff lives in that environment. Like as a dog or whatever, you're in the air. There's no parasites that are going to get themselves on the dog just randomly, really, unless they eat something that's got it in it or they come across another carrier or something. But fish are in an environment where a lot of those issues are in the water, so if it's in the water with a fish, it's there. You can't eradicate something from the whole environment in the same way. You can't treat fish quite in the same way as you can a dog or a person or whatever. Yeah, it's. I think
it's hard, isn't it? It's hard, isn't it? It really is one of the most difficult things of a bad outbreak to get Well, we've seen it so many times, and so many people have lost everything, and they go through a process of trying, and no matter what they do, nothing works. And sometimes you've got to bite the bullet and say, right, it is what it is. Let's start afresh, so to speak. We'll put it that way.
But as long as you learn, the point is, as long as you learn from it and make sure you don't introduce it to the environment, then you shouldn't have a problem with it. But yeah, it is. Yeah.
I've seen friends of mine that have gone through it of a bad case, and we ended up having to cull every single fish that they had. And when we did that, there was no other way of thinking, right, we want to make sure that this environment is cock on 100%. We pumped out every single last bit of water, drained everything down from the bottom drain and out to waste, completely gone, filled the pond back up, 2 bottles of bleach in each one, turned the garden into a backyard jacuzzi. It literally frothed out of everything and everywhere. There were froth all over the place. Ran it through the system for a couple of weeks, rinsed it all out, in with PP, rinsed all that out, backfilled it, flushed all that out, filled it up again. And just to make sure that we got all the PP out, all the bleach out, and that it was 100%. Now, the PP wasn't to really... Well, the PP was just because he wanted to go belts and braces. But trust me, bleach kills 99.9% of all bacteria known out there. So we could have probably really just done the bleach. Anybody that PP something thinking it's going to kill a bacteria infection is wasting the time, because it won't. If you want to make sure something's clean, bleach is your one for doing it. If you wanted to clean any old media and such, that is a good product. There's better stuff out there. There's some other type of industrial, similar sort of thing to a bleach, isn't there, that you can use. But I forget what it's called, that stuff. It's got... I
don't know. To be honest, we use sodium.
I would use it in swimming pools.
Yeah, sodium hypochlorite.
That's it.
Yeah, we use that as a basic. The problem is that if you're disinfecting a pond from that, if the fish are removed and it's left fallow for 2 weeks,
yeah, that in itself just drying out. Yeah,
but at the end of the day, if you've been through something nasty like that, then you want to be doubly sure. And it is tricky. So basically, the bigger the parasite, the harder it is almost kind of to kill. So you could take fish out. If you got Argillus, for example, you could take fish out, leave it 6 weeks with no fish in, put fish back in. They'll get Argillus again, because that parasite can survive that kind of length of time without a host. It will eat whatever. But as you come down to the more dangerous a bacteria or a virus is, generally, the more it needs to be in a host. It can't just survive.
Yeah.
Without a host, it's much more short term, but it's much more deadly. So yeah, it's one of those. We're on that topic again, aren't we? Is it not Christmas? We're not talking about something nice.
The thing is, the show is what it is, and it's what people bring to it, mate. So at the end of the day, if we help someday. Alan Tate advised me to use a very strong dose of PP with CT combined to fully sterilize.
Yeah, but they will both. So you've got an oxidizing agent and a bleaching agent.
So your CT's your bleach and the other's the PP's your.
I don't know if you can combine them. I don't know what you're going to create.
That sounds like mad science. Did you end up with some mass volcano shit erupting in your garden, Tony?
One after the other, probably. I'm not sure two together. I'm pretty sure chlorine would strip the PP. I don't know. But anyway, Alan knows his stuff, and he's probably told you exactly what to do on the button. Tony's probably just gone, well, blub, 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 blub. Just glug it all in. Anyway, at the end of the day, it is you can't. The problem is if a koi has got a bacterial problem that's in the fish, there's no treatment you can put in topically that's going to kill that bacteria without killing the fish. It's just it's like dipping us. If we've
not fishing,
but it's So if we had sepsis, so we've got a bacterial problem in our blood, there is no treatment you can spray us with or dip us in. We could always put an intravenous drip of bleach and some PP. Why's that for you? That's the thing. It's got to do something like that. It's got to be put into you, isn't it? That's the point. So that's why the antibiotics have got to be injected or ingested. You can't get a dose from ingestion correctly. So that when it comes down to then you've got to be injecting every fish multiple times to its weight to every fish. It's
a nightmare, mate, isn't it? It's an absolute nightmare. And an expensive.
That's the easy bit. Getting the right antibiotics is the hard bit to inject.
To get in the first place. Yeah, getting somebody that will provide you with it. That's the other one. But as Rob says, it always goes to that topic. It does, mate. It's just a hobby, I guess. And unfortunately, it is part of the hobby. But as we've said, prevention is better than the cure. And, there we go. Good evening.
He's the prevention.
Burglar.
He's antibacterial. He's the prevention.
There we go.
It's like, what?
I've got to do this because hang about this nut job. I don't think you're going to get the sound, but you'll get to see how sorry he looks for himself.
You're waving at us. Crafty, your missus is waving at me, I think.
Have a look at this.
I hear you.
Your microphone's off. And he's going to come in and go.
Oh, no.
Boop.
Oh, poor old Matt.
Look at this.
Oh.
We got no sound.
What is going on with the sound?
Happy Christmas. Happy New Year. To everyone, love you lots. Love you long time. We'll see the evening as long as I can stay awake, watching the boys in the background.
What he just said there is, good evening all and welcome to the GKP. Merry Christmas to all and Happy New Year. And he's enjoying watching us all with the lads in the background. He's feeling a bit sorry for himself. Actually looks like he's been on a work do and come home half sozzled, doesn't he really?
He did after Saturday. And then he had to go to Vince's and do his window.
Oh, hang about. I thought we were going to get to see Gaz in bed with him. Hey, there I am.
He's got a TV that comes out the end of his
TV
bed.
in his bed, comes out of bed. You know, when you're living life, when you live like Matt.
That's not even his bedroom. I'm telling Pam. Go get on the phone.
Hopefully, fingers crossed, Matt, you get better soon. We couldn't hear your sound because it's too quiet. Can we hear you now? Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now we can hear you. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
He doesn't drink, no, dear. What you got there? A microphone.
You can have a pint of
Got a dent in the
Black
top, looks a bit like a willy.
Not mine.
No, not yours. It's big.
Yes.
Mate, it looks like whiter than the sheets. Looks like Casper the Ghost.
Too much stress, mate, isn't it?
Happy Christmas to everyone, by the way. I did say that a minute ago, but yeah, couldn't hear me.
What did Vince do to Matt? What did you do to Matt, Vince?
He left him in his pond for 4 days trying to get that window in.
4 days trying to get that window in.
He couldn't get out.
Mate, he's always poorly, isn't he?
That's what happens, isn't it? Living out in the country, all that country air.
I thought you were supposed to become immune to it all and be, being a country bumpkin, eventually you become. This is a good question that we got from Tony Barker. He's got quite a few good ones this evening, but there's not that many. There's one that Rick's put in, which is almost impossible to ask. Never mind what it is. But the first one we've got, then, are you ready? Go on. I'll let you go.
I've got to put Ez. You can come say goodnight.
Oh, happy birthday for last week, Ez. Merry Christmas to you, bud.
Happy Christmas, mate.
Christmas to you too.
Good lad. Right. I'm putting him to bed.
Yeah, put him to bed, mate.
If I'm not back down, it means I fell asleep with
It
him.
means you fell asleep as well.
Yeah, don't forget Santa's watching.
I'll give you this one because Rick's already had a little insight to it, mate. It's his own question, but it gives you a chance to have something to think about it as well. How many different influential factors are involved to determine the outcome in Coy's development? And I'm sure he put as many difficult words in there for me to pronounce as he possibly could to make that question up. But that gives you a bit of an insight as to think. He's got to think about an answer for it because he came up with it like.
Who was that from? Was that his own?
That's Rick's own question.
He asked his own question and didn't, and then I needed to think
not
about
yet,
his
not yet.
answer.
I just give him a reminder on it because he said it was some kind of a moment they were having, which I replied back to him is, guess you're going to have to answer this one after a few beers as well. So we need to wait for him to be 3 sheets to wind and then get him to answer.
Yeah. No, I've already got a few knocking around already. Yeah.
Mark Tognieri said, well done to everyone who gives up the free time and makes this possible. Gary, Crafty, Rick, Matt and Daz, pat on the back to you all, mon the fish, and well done to everyone that gets involved. And what I actually haven't done this evening is put up a link yet, and I will post it in a second. Jigs has put in, looking forward to it on behalf of the little community that we have. Thank you for doing the live, and that we all come together and have a chat about something we all love. I hope you and the family have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thank you very much, Jigs, and same to you too, bud. Not necessarily a question, but a positive statement from them too. Right then, what about this one from Tony Barker? We can have a chat on, and then we can bring it back in for Rick as well. How about the panel tell us one high point and one low point of their koi keeping year?
You agree, don't you?
Yeah.
That's something.
That gives us something to have a think about when he comes back in. We've got a couple of more, which I don't know if we can actually. This is a good question for you, actually. What, in the panel's opinion, are the best or most gimmicky products to have been brought out onto the market this year?
There's lots.
That's another good question, though, isn't it? And then we've got, I'm interested in water quality, pros and cons of RO and using vegetable filters like Rick uses, dwell time and flow rates. A couple of questions within one.
I can come back on some of that, not all of it.
Yeah, good question. Good question with a few questions within it. And then we've got the last one, which is, how do people feel about the announcement of the cost of water is being increased by so much as it's going to affect how they approach the hobby, especially in the view of quality of water and service? Obviously, there's a big difference between a £31 a year and 35% for some on meters and multiple ponds. It's not going to affect Rick at all because all his water comes from the river.
No, that's not true. That's not true. Of course it did.
It might do from now on in.
Yeah, but to be honest, the water bill compared to electric is pretty minimal. And if your water's not that great, you don't. We'd much rather reuse water to the best of its ability than replace it. I'm not sure water's got an ability, but if it had an ability, that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah, we've been costing. Well, not we, I. So, as I think it was last week when we was doing, I had to do the deep dive into the electricity usage. Finally nailed down to what it is, but just electric heaters that I've employed into the koi department for various reasons. We're seeing an increased cost of £25 a day, just through the electricity costs.
Is that individual heater or per day with them all combined?
No, a combined cost.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, they're still £25 a day. So again, it's back to the drawing board with certain things there, because that overhead is huge when you look at it over the course of a month and a year.
Yeah.
Electric heating's always been pretty much just not a goer. Isn't it? Just the standard. So you can work out. So obviously we use all sorts. We use more types of heating than you can shake a stick at. But so electrics comes out probably the worst, isn't it? Your heat pumps in the right environment are good.
Yeah.
But when you desperately need heat is generally when the heat pump's pretty shit. So
Yeah.
to work. Solid fuel burners, which we use a lot of, only work when you've got cheap solid fuel.
Yeah.
So it is tricky. So we used to use a lot of propane as well. So the old turkey farm had a contract with Fawley Power Station, I think it came from. So a waste product from petroleum production, propane. And the propane then gets delivered at, originally I think it was 12p a litre. So we had these monster tanks, 12p a litre. By the time we had to cut that, it was up to £1.20 a litre or whatever. When you're getting 2,000 litres delivered, you're talking, a £3,000 bill, which is not a 300 quid bill anymore. It's a £3,000 bill. It's just.
Yeah. I mean, the other thing.
Well, for crafty with that one, mate, that's a 9,125 quid increase just from those electric heaters.
And that's
a
not
year.
the
9,125 quid. It's a lot of chuffing money, man.
Deploying them strategically for certain reasons. Whether or not it's like helping fish get through sleeping sickness, taking them through the quarantine, like of the fish that we've had just come through. And also a little bit of a pickup when fish are off, because obviously ambient water temperatures that we're seeing, although we're indoors, are still not at the optimum sort of temperature for when you put a treatment in. So it's about bringing the water condition up to the right temperature, before you administer, and then it's all that sort of thing with regards to fish health. So it's what do you do? So the alternate is what we've looked at previously, which is oil, and we looked at this 18 months ago, when I first took over down at Perfect, and it's about the initial outlay. So we're looking at a £60,000 bill for an installation, and the business has to recoup that cost back, so it's when you look at what the pros and the cons are and whatnot, £60,000 bill, it's a lot of money to outlay. And on top of that, you've obviously got to introduce them into ponds that are empty, because you've got to put all the pipe work in, and the disruption's a lot bigger than a £60,000 bill. So it's something that we're still looking at and considering for an uplift, similar to the solar panels on the top. That saves us a huge amount of money every year. It's like, now how do we cut back on the other costs? Because at the minute, the industry, with all the additional costs, it's making it difficult. So where we're seeing the rises that are introduced by the government for our business, it's like, right, where do we make that gain back? And the last thing I want to do is I don't want to be passing any sort of increases over to the consumer. That's what my goal is, trying to achieve. So it's
hard though, isn't it? Because
it's so hard.
If your food bill goes up, your water bill goes up, your heating bill goes up, your staff bill goes up, your rental and tax bills go up,
the rates go up.
So at what point does your product you're selling stay the same? We've had this for donkey's years, and then
it can't though, can it? It's not feasible for it to stay the same. It's got to go.
No, but every business,
you can't sell
has got to try and keep their product at a position where I suppose you can't pass everything over. You guys, we're going to look at it from a consumer point of view as well, because I don't look at it just from business, look at it from consumer as well. So you have to try and find that balance. And I too am a consumer, so it's like I see where my bills rise and etc., how much expendable cash I've got to spend on a hobby. So we put everybody into that position. So we're very aware that the cost of living out there at the minute is having an impact on a lot of the business. Dry goods, for example, are well down year on year for the last 3 years, right? And the internet's part of the blame to that, but also so is the amount of money that people have got to spend. right? So, certain things that we do, we don't want to put, like, for example, another £10 on every koi. I mean, because all right, that's a minimal cost to push over to the consumer, but it's still £10 for every tozai. When someone else that hasn't got our overheads don't have to put that £10 increase on. So we have to stay in line. But something's got to give somewhere at some point, like every other business.
Well, unfortunately, it's got to be one or two things. You either pass it on, or it's your profits.
Yeah, or you soak it up. But there's a way of manipulating your costs, like by sound decision making on looking at where you can save money. It's you drill down to the last ounce of cash that you've got less in order to try and make it work. Even looking at the wage bill, it's like, right, what do we do in order to potentially save on wage costs?
But that's what everybody does, though, don't they? Everybody cuts staffing before they do anything, and 9 times out of 10, you don't deliver the same service. You don't.
That's the worst thing you can do. It's the worst thing. I've known that through business. If your business requires 10 people to do the job and deliver it at the quality and the standard that you require, right? In order to save them, you take 2 people away. That's 2 full-time jobs potentially that you've then got to slice up and push around everybody else that's already got a full-time job. So they get a full-time job plus 10%. And at that point, where's the morale in your staff? Burnout gets more, etc., etc. So the bigger picture is that's the last resort. If you can't save anywhere and you're not getting the people through the door, I mean, we're okay but it's still, you've got to have that projection and that ability to safeguard against all of this that's coming up, because the people that don't do that, may find themselves in sticky situations, and be reactive rather than proactive towards it,
Yeah, it's a shit
Man,
time.
we've seen it for donkey's years, though, mate. You can present a 2,000 gallon pond of koi for X amount of money, or you can present it for treble X amount of money or whatever.
Yeah,
it's the same thing, isn't it? It's one of those. Yes, we'd all love to have a lovely studio to sell them in, that's all heated with drums. The whole setup costs and everything can be done one way or another way or another way or another way, and it all costs. Yep. But at the end of the day, if you're spending, I don't know, £100,000 a year to present your shop in this manner, or £10,000 a year,
that cost has got to go somewhere.
If the quality of the water and the quality of the fish is the same, then this is a business, so the customer's paying that extra 90 grand to buy those fish.
Yeah.
No,
I'm with you.
Difference. It's purely it's an aesthetics. It's a prestige thing. It's whatever you want to call it.
No, I totally agree, mate. It was the first thing that I looked at when I went down to Perfect, and I changed the pricing structure on the koi, and lo and behold, mate, we were up 110% on last year's figures in that department. And that was actually a strategic thing with how the pricing worked. And yeah, we sold more for less return, but actually the less return part and we selling more has meant that we've grown really rapidly.
It's a turnover, isn't it? Because if you don't turn your stock over, who's going to come back and see the same fish?
Totally. Yeah, but you found a solution to it, haven't you, Rick?
To what shit?
Well, it's obvious. You found a solution to it. You've covered everything in gin, which makes everything look sparkly, which always more expensive. So next season for you, all those gin fish, you're going to smash it big time and make twice as much as what you did last year.
The problem is we still sell the same, don't we? So we've got price lists, we've got price structures. The fish, regardless, are the same. But yet,
they're not. They're sparkly.
We can't sell fish for X amount more just because we've now got a bigger VAT bill, we've now got a bigger water bill, we've now got, it's right so you can pass it on to the customer, but you pass it on and suddenly you stop selling. And there is a massive...
And then that's it. Then you're already in that position where people have gone elsewhere and you've lost your clientele, haven't you?
We have to sell all of the fish that are available when we're a farm. It's turnover.
You've got to sell everything every year. Yeah.
So some years we have demand for them, like over COVID and whatever. We probably shit out a bit because we didn't change our price structure to suit. We just sold out really quickly. Now we're struggling to sell out, but the price structure is still the same. So with hindsight, you say, well, the demand was massive. You should have just doubled your prices.
And made your profit then to cover this fall short.
No, but I think that I get that people say that that's a good thing to do. Actually, what do you get back from doubling, tripling prices just because the demand's there? It's like
more money.
More money in your bank.
You do, but do you lose that respect from the customer base?
You do, but unfortunately, as much as I love our customers, they are quite fickle, aren't they? So at the end of the day, if fish ain't right for the money, they'll go and buy elsewhere.
Yeah, there's a huge, and I don't mean to offend here, but there's not a huge amount of loyalty from customers to koi dealers. There's not.
There's too many to be. If the market's saturated, then the consumers got the right and choice to move freely throughout.
Totally right.
So they should know, shouldn't they?
Yeah. I'm not saying that's a negative.
It's like energy prices. If you want to get your gas and your electric down, you shop around for the cheaper deal, don't you? And you go with who you think is not necessarily the cheapest, the one that's going to offer you the best deal for the better price, as opposed to. Yeah, and you've just got to hope that you've managed to maintain your clientele relationship, that they'll stay with you through thick and thin.
Yeah, I don't want that to come across as a negative.
No.
I don't mean it in that sense. It's a, the thing is, in order to get people coming back through the door, you've got to have a certain influence on customer service, on quality of product. Fuck your free pom bomb.
That been said for a couple of weeks. I had to get one
fucking every week. There's so much more, but in business, right? Every other koi dealer is offering that service, and it's who you ever click with. I get that, but then if you don't get the right fish through the door, all right, then those people that are looking for that fish, they will go elsewhere.
You want to get your order in before she leaves? I'll have a Big Mac meal, please.
Oh, I've already got it in, and we're having a Mackies tonight.
You had Mackies?
No, we are. I've already.
You've already got it placed, haven't you?
Started
AKA.
it,
See, the weird thing is, we will put customers onto other dealers. Always have done. If they're after something we can't supply, and we're very limited because we're a farm. So if you want a type or a quality or a size, I will put you on to someone that I will trust in the industry to get what you want. And same with dry goods. We don't do dry goods. So,
Rick, I do the same when it comes to fish. If I haven't got what you're looking for, and I know somebody that I get on with and I trust, I will also make that phone call.
There you go. And that's how it should be. And at the end of the day, that customer can. You don't have to stick to one supplier. I think what you need to do is have a set of suppliers that are trust that you get on with. So if you're looking, actually it's a real special present, and I want to buy that Tancho show I've always wanted, you ain't going to come to me for it. You come to me, and I said, well, you go and see Crafty, Matt, Gary, whoever that I know has got half a dozen fish. They're not cheap, but they are what they are. They are. This is what you're after. Go and see them.
Yeah.
But if you're after whatever, you can come and see me. And I think that trust is the best thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
You need to tell Dave more. Tell more to Dave, and your problems are solved.
But at the end of the day, the fish food is not being funny. We sell a fish food that we use, but obviously it's Coppens. It's not crazy. It's not. We're not hiding behind. Oh, you can buy this top level food from us that's secretive and it's £50 a kilo, but we really buy it from. We sell it. If you buy it, we sell it by the sack. In the sack it comes in. We do our own product. We do our own packaging in smaller versions, but the reality is that's what it is. You pay for that product. Done.
Right. I'm just going to interrupt on that because, we did click, Mark and I, when we first met. And that's part of it.
Brotherly love.
Yeah, and he likes Oxos, and I love
Oxo.
an Oxo gravy, mate. It's
Yeah, he's Oxo, and I mean, Mark came down in his private helicopter anyway. So I mean, it was just he says it's a 5-hour round trip, but that's just to get the pilot ready when he's in CAF.
He don't drive; he sits in the back.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
But to be fair, that's every dealer will have certain customers that are you become friendly with people, don't you? And you have a rapport with people. And if you're that's just how it is. But at the end of the day, if you're trustworthy, you can supply what they want. You can. If you can't supply what they want, you can put them to somewhere that you can get what you want. You know, you don't walk into Tesco and say, "I want pigs in blankets," and they go, "Well, we've sold out. Hard luck."
Yeah, it's true.
Tesco's would turn around and say to you, Rick, that we'll have some more in next week. So what you do then is contact your mate, you purchase from them, and then sell them to the client.
You see, I make that point because, you know, moving into this industry, mate, just basing me on me, I had a loyalty to the people that I bought from. You know, I travelled all over, I found the ones I want, and they're the people that I used. All right, so I sort of expected that a majority of people were like that. So actually, it was really
not in Yorkshire, mate.
No, not in most places.
Most of us
extremely loyal customers, but when I say it, it's as a whole. There's no loyalty there.
The vast majority of people are as tight as the duck's ass, mate, and that's watertight. And you've got to be fickle with your money these days because at the end of the day, this is a hobby.
I'm not even sure it's even. I don't think it's not to do with tightness. It's you go places and you walk into a place, you see stuff, you want to buy it. You know, how do you even price koi? Okay, here's fish of this, here's fish of that, whatever. But quality and price and all these different things are actually quite difficult to quantify. The reality is you walk in a shop and you go, actually, I really like those fish. They're 200 quid, but I don't normally spend that, but I'm going to buy them. You have no loyalty to that shop and that person. You've never been in there, but you suddenly like something.
Yeah, I suppose if you like it and it's what you're looking for, as long as you're comfortable with price, does it really matter? But I mean, Rick, right, audience, you know Rick's establishment. This is just no. I could do it.
Crack on, mate.
I could do it as a poll. If you anybody that purchases from New Forest Koi, if you saw that Rick added an extra 50 quid to each one of his fish, would you be shocked or would you still pay it?
50 quid, fucking, that's doubling the price, mate.
Exactly, mate. And that's my point. Some of your fish should be double the price of what
some of them are, but some of them shouldn't. And the point is that's why people.
And that's fair enough whether you only put 25 quid on them ones.
I agree with you guys.
For me, I don't honestly think for me that if I wanted it and I liked it, 50 quid wouldn't that much. I mean, what's 50 quid? It's not even a McDonald's, is it? It's feck all.
It's not even a McDonald's. Where do you go to McDonald's?
It's just going to cost that for his tea alone.
No.
I'm not shitting you, man. What is 50 quid? Right. Everything nowadays is £1,000, isn't it? You go get a price and somewhere else, it's about 1,000 quid. You can't get fuck all for your money these days. Everything costs tenfold as what it did 10 years ago.
I don't know.
Well, how far does your average... You go shopping, what you would have bought in your weekly shopping. If you went to do a small shop at your local supermarket, you would have walked into your small supermarket and you would have perhaps spent 50, 60 quid and come out with 4 or 5 bags. You walk in there now, spend 50, 60 quid out, you're coming out with one carrier bag.
Not Lidl's, mate. I come out with shed loads.
I don't come out of Lidl's with anything, or Tesco's, or Asda's, or Morrison. I just don't go shopping.
You know that your lass has walked in and you said, "Where have you been?" I've just done a quick weekly provisions, the stuff that we need, and she spent twice as much as what she would have done now.
Mate, she's as tight as they come, man.
I don't get that. I think you can live cheaper now than ever. If you are sensible, you can go in. I keep saying Lidl, Aldi, wherever. basics, it's cheap as chips, man. Seriously, most stuff is fairly cheap. But the reality is to produce
chips used to be cheap. Now they're £3.75 a bag.
I think but they come in potatoes in sacks, 25 kilos for £5. That's a chip in a wrapper.
You don't get 25 kilos of chips or bags or spuds around, do you, mate? The only way you get that is if you travelled out to a farm store. And then when you buy them, you've had them in your kitchen or you've had them somewhere for 4 days and they all turn into a squashed fucking or a rotting mess.
Nah, they don't, mate. You've got to learn. If you can go and buy a sack of potatoes from a farm, you can't. We do it anywhere. For what, 10 quid, 25 kilos of potatoes, bang them in a cold, dark place, bit of sand and sawdust and paper, whatever, they last forever. And the ones that don't grow, and you get more potatoes.
Yeah, I suppose there is a bit of that.
Chop them up. Let's go into a shop and buy a bag of someone's cut and peeled spuds and selling it to you for £3 a kilo.
Tesco's 15p for 2 kg. That's 2 potatoes a kg a spud.
Man, we've gone off on a right tangent here.
Well, we went way off where we were. Anyway, the question would everybody hang on, let's see what everybody said. Vin said, feck yeah.
Feck yeah.
Still pay at the coin.
Answer?
Should have been double. Then trust grows. I would still pay after seeing the coin in person. There you go. See, the vast majority of people would say, the vast majority of people that answered said, yeah. I get a sack of potatoes for 10 quid.
There you go. 25 kilos for a tenner. That is a lot. That is enough chips to start our own business selling chips.
Yeah, but then you've got coronary heart disease and you fucking die at the age of 32.
First rule of drug dealing: don't taste the product. Don't eat the chips.
It just feed everybody else some.
Of course you do. You don't eat your own chips. No one eats chips. Bad for you. Isn't it? It's true.
If you sell value for money with a smile on your face, you will survive. There you go.
Koi guy asks a question there, Gaz, at 8:40.
It's not 8:40 yet. He's in a time machine.
Crafty, would you sell much koi this time of year? I know my dealer would sell no koi this time of year, just the tropical fish.
Okay, so the answer to that is we don't sell as much. And I've been obviously doing the figures. I've just pulled the figures up to give you an idea. Whether you can sell koi or buy koi at this time of the year. So January of this year, I increased our sales in the koi department by 1,887.69%. Right,
Shit,
so
that's like you sold two.
Right, it's quite a decent amount of fish sold. In February, increased by 252%. Right, and then we see a decline in sales between March, April, and May. Right,
that's because everybody's saving for my birthday, March 12th.
If you look at the weather, mate, the weather was absolutely revolting at that time of the year for the koi season to kick off. But then June onwards, mate, right, and this is like based on last year's figures when I took over the department. So on my second year, up 99% in June, up 79% in July, up 201% in August, up 108% in September, up 544% in November.
Now then, so now you just told everybody you just made maximum amount of profits this year.
No, that's not maximum amount of profits. This is sales on the last year. But there's also a massive thing in there.
But that doesn't necessarily mean that's up on last year. It doesn't necessarily
I'm obviously being fairly cryptic in the way that I come across, but that's against last year's figures.
But did you offer free over winter in last year in January?
I did.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, did.
Yeah. This is just based on koi sales, nothing else. Just the koi sales.
Yeah, but our koi sales will go into. So we'll be selling fish now, but we're not actually shipping them. So those fish are staying with us, but we're still selling fish. But
Yeah, Mark's got it right as well.
That's a good comment. That's just me and Rick. All those sales were you two.
it was. Those auctions were good, to be fair.
Yeah, and they still will be. You know,
No, you still got the fish. I haven't even collected them yet from last show.
Makes no odds to me. You haven't even paid for them yet. Tight as arseholes, mate.
Oh, God, we're balanced, and we surely by now.
No, we are balanced.
Somewhere in the scheme of things.
We're balanced, mate. I'm winding you up.
In the flow of.
But so I had this conversation with another dealer about shutting ponds down over winter. I think it depends on who you are as a business and what your operations are. You know, bearing in mind if smaller koi dealers, you know, shut their ponds down over winter, they've made their money through the summer period. They're shutting them down because the operational costs are there.
Yeah,
right?
and whether or not
they'll get a new shipment in, and they'll do the same time. For a shop like mine, where we've got such high overheads month in, month out, you know, the koi are always on sale, and you know, if we can sell them and they can go to a pond because the temperatures allow it, then so be it. Otherwise, people buy, leave, and come and collect.
Yeah.
You know, it's
the beauty for you though, Crafty, is you've also got other little independent businesses within it, and you've also got other aspects to your industry that you do, which is your tropicals and the other little companies that can subsidise the turnover from your koi when it might be a harder months.
yeah, that's
Golf course, cafe.
yeah. I mean that's more strategic with regards to having the ability. So golf course, for instance, the reason why that was there was why we put that in is there was a huge people that haven't seen the shop before that was put in. All of that was waste ground. So, you know, it wasn't making any money. So actually you put a bit of investment in and you create something that does generate an income. It's low turnover. It's high profit, like high operational costs, high profit as a result. But that then gives us the ability to subsidize in other areas, you know, and be able to absorb some of the costs.
Yeah.
You know, without that, and it was the same when I was working with a boss to shrink the footprint of the shop, because we had such a massive shop without those small businesses that we've put in, those micro businesses, that actually didn't generate any revenue for the business. So by replanning and putting those sort of things in, we then get an income off of those people that trade from there.
Yeah.
You know, and that then generate again from the money that you make off that then subsidizes and can overlook some of the overhead costs that you wouldn't have, you know.
When's Rick going to get a golf course and a calf?
Fucking, I'm way ahead, mate. I'm putting a little Amazon collection depot, so everyone's got to go and get their Amazon. They might as well come and buy a fish.
Are you actually doing that? There's something we've looked into as well.
If you get footfall, mate, that's why all the shops do it. Come and get your parcel.
Yeah.
And then you're there. Oh, buy a pack of Chewits and a can of Coke, whatever.
It's just about getting access. We're currently looking in about whether there's a requirement for 24-hour access or not, because we obviously magnet lock all the gates and bolt everything.
So 24-hour live from there,
and you know.
But there's a security thing. If you've got 24-hour business going on there, then security looks after itself, doesn't it? There isn't a vulnerable time anymore.
Yeah, because there's always somebody there. Yeah.
We've been robbed more when we're open than when we're closed.
That's by me.
Peter says Vince could run that.
Shooting
range.
Online robbery.
Yeah, easily. Yeah, swag bag.
Right then, how about this one? Tony Barker's question. How about the panel tell us of one high point and one low point of their koi keeping year? Rick, you can go first.
All right. Oh, jeepers. High point was probably actually creating Gimrin Aragoki Shisui. I knew I was doing it, but I did it. You always know stuff, but you don't always know stuff till it happens.
When it comes
Yeah,
to fruition.
mate, mate, fucking come on, man. They were the
So they're pretty mental, but that's taken, in reality, about 10 years of tweaking to get to the point to do it. So they're there. That's a bonus. Low point. Probably the Matsu Kawabaki Shiro creation, and that's taken quite a long time as well. So that's parents from a long time ago, offspring, recreating, and I thought I'd nailed something, and the fuckers are all still black.
people like blackfish, mate.
Mate. Beautiful Ginrin black fish, that black diamonds if Denature was selling them, but I'm trying to sell them, and some of them they are creating patterns, but it's a killer because
not breaking.
But Rick, right? Black diamonds, Dionysia selling, but they're like fucking rocking or shit, and there's a reason for that, isn't there?
Yeah, no, but so I've got they literally have just got to break up a little bit of white amongst the black, and Has it got to be at that early stage? Does it have to be at that early stage? Because I thought, but the problem is if we got 10,000 of them, I can't keep them. So what are you doing? You're waiting and you're sitting on them. But
dig another hole.
But my point, if you look at the one that Ricky Stoddart had, mate, 4 years is when it actually started to shine bright.
I know, but I can't do that, can I? I need a product that's going to be sellable. And if I sell those 10,000 blackfish,
you'd be pissed if you sell them all and they've all become real bangers.
Not really. I'd be quite happy with that. But my problem is, I reckon they're just, it's one of those.
You don't think they'll break?
No, I think they might stay black.
Well, the way to sell it is to sell it with a positive spin. Japanese culture says that every pond should have a black koi. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you these fish. Now, right now they're black, but there's a very good chance these could become a black diamond. If they don't, they'll still always be your lucky fish.
Our issue is, guys, 99% of the fish we sell or whatever is done visually, isn't it? People walk in and they just look at stuff and they want what they're seeing.
Yeah, but if they get what they're seeing with the chance that it could become something else, but if it doesn't, it's always going to be good luck. That's a win-win.
Doesn't mate.
Oh, mate, you need to learn your sales pitch.
Keeping them, but
should be able to sell sand to Arabs, mate.
It's not being able to. Yeah, but the problem is not being able to sell. I could sell sand to the Arabs. Great. After a while, they've got enough sand. They go, well, when does it turn into diamonds? About 2.5 million years.
Be patient.
We've got 130 people watching. Right,
that's one each, and they've still got 10,000 left.
But the point is, we've got 130 people watching. Right, put 130 out, or 1,030 out. Right, let people grow them, and let's look at what the development is with these at 2, 3, and 4 years. To the ones
growing show, just 10,000 customers. That's all you need. Make a growing show.
When you look at what it is that you're trying to achieve, all right, let's have a look at how they develop in 4 years. You don't know. You may be onto something really good, and you don't know because it's at that such early stage.
Yeah. Oh, what about that for an idea? Stick them in the specimen lake and increase your day tickets.
But again, that's something you could do.
You could. That would be. You'd get to see what they do, and then you'd know for future whether or not.
Well, you would, mate, because no one catches any fish out of that, mate.
Oh, yeah, true. Actually, you'd be screwed. You'd never catch one to see if it changed.
I've never known a carp fishery so full of fish that it is insane. It is mental. You drove it down.
Oh, we did have a frigging boat sail across it with bottles of beer on back of it clanging away as it got there. I mean,
I never cast out. It was raining. There's no way.
Yeah, you didn't even have a go.
But look at what Frank ripped.
There you go. All I wanted was a black diamond to be black.
There you go.
Can have 10,000 of them then, if you want.
Load you up.
Can fill your pond. What's
mad though is the reason I did it was because obviously we crossed originally the original parent set was a Komamru Gimrin Matsukawabaki. The offspring from that I used with an Omasako Gimrin Shiro. The offspring from that, which was, it's a beautiful fish. It's a lovely Gimrin Matsukawabaki. I crossed back with another Gimrin Shiro. So it's now 75% Gimrin Shiro with 25% Matsukawabaki. And I thought, well, that increases your number of blackfish, black fry to get a better yield. And they were all black. Literally, the entire spawning were black and Gimrin. It's like, wow, we're on to a winner. Just wait. And yeah, I'm still waiting.
How did the culling sessions go on then? Is it
there is no culling? There was literally, the point was you're picking those that have got good Gimrin, nice body shape, good sumi. But you're just waiting for the sumi to break and get some Shiroji shine through somewhere. And I'm like, oh shit, it's just not coming. Is it?
Is that down to the dominancy of the gene though in the colour?
Yeah, but that's the point. That's why we had the Matsukawabaki in with the Shiro to improve the number of black fry. Our biggest problem with most of our Shiros is we have to cull 90% before we start because they're not black fry.
Yeah.
By improving the number of black fry, you're hopefully improving the number of sellable offspring.
Blackfish.
If they don't.
So that was your low then. Go on then, Crafty. What was the high point?
Well, I'm gonna tackle this from two aspects. So from a personal level, it was winning size 3 champion at the BKKS National.
That's your low point.
No, that's my high point.
Oh, fucking hell, I say, Jesus, you had a good year.
No, but from a personal, that actually stroked a bit more confidence in my ability by achieving that. Now, I know actually against the competition, there wasn't a huge amount of competition, but the competition I was up against were people that have done this like before and have got bags of money to throw at certain things, i.e. some dealers actually bought special fish for that show purpose. And we didn't. It's like that was out of the fish that I selected. So like, for the shop to sell. So it wasn't anything other than we're having a look in the ponds and this is what I'm taking. I didn't do any special sort of treatment leading up to the show. It was literally, these are the ones that I've earmarked, and then the day of packing, them ones look the best, they're the ones I'm taking. So winning against that was a high point personally. From a business perspective, it's how much the koi department has grown this year. It's been way past any target that I'd set myself. And actually, I'm really, really, really super happy with our achievements and the support that we've got to achieve that, to be perfectly honest. Low points, it's a difficult one, really. In the koi aspect, it's more about my ability to select the right breeder for next year, which is something I've looked back on because I put a lot of money's worth of investment through NND fish because I rate their fish really, really highly because I know what they can produce, and the yield that you get back from that doesn't seem to trickle down through the people that buy. They don't seem to see NND as a breeder that they want to put their money into because you're up against the Dainichi Sakai, Momotaro, and then all the other sort of breeders that for some reason customers tend to flock to more. And I wish actually the amount of money I'd invested there, I'd split between 3 other dealers, and I think that we would have sold more fish even so. And just talking to certain people, that was down to my own personal decision. I think for me, I see it as a high point, but at the same time a low point because I know where them fish, some of those fish especially, can go, but that doesn't seem to, whether that's me or just the brand. I'm told that NND as a brand is a very hard sale in the UK. And that's why not a lot of people tend to bring them fish back when you're up against other fish of the same quality that come around the same price. People see the breeder name as something that they should go to. Whether or not it's because people know more about them, I don't know. So although that's a negative, it's also a positive, because next year when I go back to Japan, that money that I would have put aside for that breeder is reduced significantly and will be invested elsewhere. You know, especially depending on what koi are available, obviously. You know, but
sorry for interrupt, but do you think that because NND came about through the earthquake, it came about as a partnership to sell fish, but it becomes an umbrella for sales rather than a name? So you could buy fish from Dainichi and you think you're buying it from a person. In fact, you're buying
a name brand, yeah.
It's a brand, but it's not a person anymore. Nope. It's a group of people running that farm. Dainichi itself, the name was the original man who unfortunately died when I was out, and I met his sons. But his sons probably only take X amount. It's like it's a name, but it's actually a farm that's been run by lots of other people.
That's right.
It comes as a name, whereas NND actually might be more hands-on with free breeders doing their thing, but it comes under an umbrella of it's just a sales thing. It's coming from a sales. But it's not got the name, is it? And
but you know something, when you're out there, mate, their operation for, I mean, they're not huge. I mean, they're not small by any shape of the imagination, and NND held some. Like, I mean, this is probably where I got it wrong, because I put me as a person in front of potentially what customers want, but that's me learning my trade, you know. But the first high quality koi I ever bought was an NND fish, and I fucking fell in love with it, you know. But there were very few and far between in the UK when I've done that. But then going over there and actually seeing the operation, the amount of time and effort that, you know, that 3 breeders, you know, you got 3 superb breeders that bring all this knowledge together, and you see what their Shiros do, what their Sankey do, what their Kahaku do, right? You know, that, and that's just 3 of the main line. When they do everything, but you don't see massive examples or huge examples in the UK. But knowing where they come and when you do see them and realize how fucking good their fish are, you can get quite invested into that. But I don't think that knowledge is really out there in the market, like at the consumer level, like you know, for the price that the fish command. You know,
but it's not a name. What I'm saying is it's not a name. It's not a. If they were called Fujiomo's farm,
it becomes more attractive.
A thing. It's his thing. Momentary is. Okay, he don't run those. He don't run it anymore.
It sounds more of a wholesale name rather than
exactly. It's like Ornafish, NND, New Forest Koi have got the same kind of thing. It's not a personal thing.
Yeah,
suddenly it's a name.
But in Japan, mate, it's more that traditionalist sort of thing is not there, because NND sounds like a wholesale. Where in Japan you're looking for that family bloodline, you know, that traditional sort of thing. But it doesn't resonate into the UK like that. But the sales for like America and Asia for NND are fucking through the roofing. You know, we just don't see it over here. But I was allowed to make that mistake. You know, I've learned from it.
It's not a mistake, though, is it? At the end of the day, it's a learning curve that you could then. At the end of the day, you could go to NND next year and say, "Look, I'm buying your fish, but I'm buying the Aragokos from Kobayashi. I'm going to buy all my Shiros from Fujiyama," and you could actually name them NND Omo. You could give them that bond, that personality, that this is from this breeder. There's a face. If you go on to any breeder or any website, there's a face. Yeah. Okay, it's not him anymore. It's his son, but whatever, the same thing. It's a face.
That's the problem with NND as well, though, mate. They've got no one to hand down to through the generations either, which is untold in Japan. They've got no, all their sons, like across the three of them, they're all doing different jobs. So they've got
without that one face, then you haven't got like that face of what you're buying. And I've done it before. You go to buy fish from Japan and you look at a breed and you want to see that person. And when you go out to Japan, you meet Marido, you meet Miyatori, you meet these people.
Yeah.
That's the farmer that produces these fish.
Yeah.
In reality, like at Denichi, you could.
You're never going to see any of
them.
You
wouldn't even
go meet.
No, that's right.
Go meet them, but at the end of the day, they're not really doing the bulk of it. That farm's too big for them.
Fuck yeah, it's huge.
They're a figurehead.
It's an operation.
Sakai Fish Farm is being run by he's a figurehead, but he's not overseeing it all. But NND is not really a figurehead. It's just a company that's a group.
They've all what really attracts me to NND is that you've got three people that have got really good ability in different varieties, and they've all got their own breeding programs under the same umbrella.
But that attracts you, but that doesn't attract the client. It doesn't attract the customer walking in your shop.
That's what I'm saying. That's the bit that I was a little bit wet behind the ears on, because I can see that attraction, but then when you come over here, that doesn't then resonate into the end consumer, mate. And that's where my failure was, on a basis that I'd invested probably 40% of the funds that I took over there across a load of different sorts of fish at different grades, when actually I could have invested that money elsewhere. More importantly for the business.
The South is like a Shinoda or whatever. There's a single name and a single breeder that it's like a star point in it. I bought these fish from him, and he might have never even seen half them fish.
until they come into the fish house. Right.
It's his fish farm. I've got to a point where I don't see half our fish sometimes, because they go off to different. Carl will look after some, Mary will look after, and we're tiny. So imagine ours 100 times bigger, which is like Sakai Fish Farm. He doesn't know all those fish, does he? So, but that name, the overhaul, that's the thing, and it's kind of a thing. NND that is. I went out to dinner with NND ain't a bloke, is he? It's a group.
Yeah. Went out with Fujio or Makoto.
And that's kind of, if you haven't got that figure, that one person, who are you showing off to?
Yeah,
and that's not being mean, but that's kind of
no. I don't see that as being mean, mate.
That's the one person, always the guy that's done it all. You showed off to him, didn't you? Because he's
what's quite bizarre is when you put the DK line Shiro into the mix, you lose the NND part. People see their line as DK Shiro. They don't see him as an NND line.
And then you trace it back and it's an Osaka line. And the Donald Kerr is more famous than the NND people doing it. But that's
fucking mental, mate.
But that's how life works, isn't it? I even know who Kim Kardashian is. I've got no idea what she does or anything else. But if she sells fish, I'll buy one.
I can imagine.
Yeah, but that's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
isn't it? That you would buy a fish from someone because the name sounds good.
Yeah, but from a perspective on a low point is, don't get me wrong, I love spending the money and buying them fish. And me, I was like anybody that's interested in koi, going out there to do that. But as a dealer, it's not just about what you like; it's about what you can sell, and that's the bit I got wrong. That was my low point. I got that wrong on such a level.
I don't think I'm not sure you did, mate, because your business is. You sold, as you said, 110% more or whatever.
Yeah.
I've been to your shop over a few years. Your fish are way better.
Yeah.
So have you got it wrong? Don't think so.
That's just a small point. It's like as a net, I had to dig deep to find, and I always look for the positive in the negative. That's how I work.
I didn't want to show you too much, right?
No, I don't see it like that, mate. But for me, that low point was getting that decision wrong. When actually, if I'd split that budget that I actually spent in that one farm a little bit more across the different breeders. I mean, hindsight's a great thing, isn't it? Don't get me wrong, but I learned from that. But for me, it was a low point because I see other fish fly out and I'm thinking, fuck me, I wish I'd have put another 10 grand into that. You know, but actually, if I'd have done that, the chance are I wouldn't have fucking flew out. You know, the NND ones would have. You know, it's one of them strange things.
But it's also the demand for it. If you turn around and went, oh, if Aoki went, oh shit, you went out there, you bought a load of fish. Yep. He turned around and went, oh shit, I sold out of fish. No one else has got them. Yep. They'd sell like fucking hotcakes. They might be the ugliest fish in the world, but they sell like hotcakes. That it's a name, it's a brand,
and it sort of goes in against the question Gaz said earlier about influence.
It was all influence, huh? Us influencers out here.
Talking of which,
start selling some perfume or something soon. Fish stink.
Fish stink. For me.
There you go. It's not easy being a dealer. It's not.
So then I guess that leads me to mine. My highs and my lows of 2024. Well, to mention a few of the highs, we're pushing up close to 550,000 views for the channel, which is a banging achievement for myself. We're
country.
We're over. Played that a bit, mate. That's 500,000.
Yeah, that's 500,000. But some people get that on one video, though, mate. So, but for me, I'm happy with that.
No, they get that in one video on something like a fucking girl fucking falling over a pogo stick and showing her ass.
Yeah, I'll watch that.
So what you're saying is we need some girls on a pogo stick.
I replayed it a few times.
We've got over 532, which in the grand schemes of Mr. Vince is rather on the small side. But 532 uploads. We've got over 28,385 likes. We have over 5,065 comments on the channel this year alone. We have over 106 subscribers this month. And we are now pushing up to 2,400 after hitting the 2K mark this year, hopefully putting us on track for hitting the 3K mark come next year. The best video performance that I've had up to press has been 21,637 views, which is on a simple little filter system.
Filter system.
It's a simple little filter system that I made. And there are those out there that are taking the piss, and all I say to you is, fuck you. But it has done rather well and brought me quite a little bit of revenue in, even though it's only a 2-bucket filter system. But the negative, there's been some negatives this year. There's been a few.
Oh, just do one. Just do one.
I can't, mate, because obviously I did more than one positive, and the positive is what everybody here has brought to the community and brought to the GKP by being there and supporting us. And that is the biggest achievement. The achievement is getting you guys to come back and watch us week in, week out. And you hit it bang on the nail there, Rob. The bastard heron. The heron has been the biggest negative of this season for me. Unfortunately, I lost a lot of fish that I really was quite fond of, and it would have been nice to watch the progression. But now instead, I have other fish which I appreciate slightly more than for some, and others that we get to still watch and grow and develop in the pond as their replacements. The last one, which is a little bit of a negative, is the realism and realistic findings of not being able to attend Japan and not going out there to visit and see the Japanese koi farms I've heard so much about. Maybe it'll be a thing of the future, but with the present circumstances as they are, it won't be something I will be doing this year or next. So that's a bit of a negative, but
to be fair, it's a negative, but also it's still a dream that will be.
It is, mate. It's something I will aspire to do, hopefully, in the not too distant future. But with things as they are now, they are financial, employment, work, standard of living, and everything else. It's just something that's not going to happen.
It is.
Not going to say never. It's just, unfortunately, I have to say it and I have to bring it out there because it was something that was brought up and was discussed on the live as things to come for the future, ladies and gents. But unfortunately, it'll not be coming to fruition just yet. We'll get there one day, but
there'll be people saying you to come out there and video them soon.
I doubt that very much, we can live and dream and we can hope. That was a little bit long-winded, but yeah, those stats that I put down there and that I have said there is literally thanks to you guys week in, week out. Although I have been putting out very little normal video footage, I still
see that in the background. Sorry, guys.
There's obviously is thanks to you guys, and it's the regular weekly lives, of which I will touch on just a little bit before so that you guys know, so we get it in kind of midway through. The 26th is next Thursday, which is Boxing Day. There won't be no live next week. Now, this will be depending on what both Rick and Crafty think. The following week would then be the 2nd. And it might be the case that we miss and go through till the 9th, I believe, if I double check, which would be the 9th of January before we go live again. I'm happy to do the 2nd, which would be the first, well, obviously the 2nd of January.
I'm all right for the 2nd, guys.
First next Thursday. If Rick's comfortable with that, it will be the 2nd. If not, then it will be the 9th of Jan. Let's just hope that some of us aren't too thick-headed with the New Year's celebrations. I'm back to work on the 2nd, so it'd be good for me. But it depends whether or not everybody else is available. If not, it will be the 9th. We'll see what Rick says when he comes back with his chicken Kiev or whatever it was he said he was going to grab, or what he was putting in. That takes us on to the next question then, which we can get into and we can have a quick discussion on, which I think this is a good one. What is the panel's opinion are the best or most gimmicky product to have been brought onto the market this year?
I've got one fucking easy.
The best gimmicky product. Go on then. I'll let you go. You can. I mean, I've seen a lot of products that have been out there, brought out that have come to light.
They've probably not been released this year, but there's been
more yeah,
definitely an uptake in sales for them, and that's solar panel pumps, and like whether they be water pumps or air pumps. They're fucking dog shit.
That surprised me. I mean, I thought, I can see why with the price and the running cost of electrics. We've got that's like 16 burgers, 2 portions.
14 burgers, mate. You need to work on your math. They've got a place, but they're not in like because they've got no way of actually farming the energy. They only work in direct sunlight.
Yeah.
So it's great when the sun's out and there it is doing its job. But come the night time when there's no sun and there's no oxygen, or there's no water being pumped, etc.
Yeah, you're screwed, aren't you, unless you've got a backup system, battery backup to build it up.
Yes. I mean, and they're not cheap, some of them even, mate. Some of the like air pumps are like 330 quid for something that isn't worth what's on.
I've seen one that I've been approached by a company to do a video on one and to take a solar pump. The turnover of the pump was quite little. They only do work in direct sunlight. Yep. Come nighttime, your pond's not running, and how do you use something like that on
transfer?
There you go. Ours just runs a wildlife pond. Does half a battery, doesn't last 24 hours, and that's the same one, which is why I politely declined and said, if you ever get something bigger and more suitable to what my needs are, then I'd be interested. Till such time, it's no more than turning over a pond to make it not go stagnant throughout the day. And yeah, most solar panels, most cheaper product solar panel things, they don't seem to last much more than 12 months before they end up getting water damaged with rain that we get.
And the reason for that, mate, is that in order to get a decent return on solar, you've got to invest a lot of money into a solar panel.
Yeah, the panel's got to be the dog's danglers, hasn't it?
That's the driving force behind the motor. And actually, the ones that are retailed as the solar power panel like replacement for electric, they're not up to the task that they say they are.
Do you think we're all looking at it completely the wrong way? So if you imagine, right, you've got a pond and you've got a solar panel.
I know what you're going to say here now.
Right, what am I going to say?
With it switching off on a night time, does it necessarily matter? But I would have thought it would have been more dangerous for it to go off on a night time. Does it need to be on through the day and running through the night? I mean, off
you're
through the day.
Point. So what I'm saying is you literally have no pump running on your pond, a natural pond, and you can have a solar panel that absorbs the solar energy that feeds into a storage facility that just lights a light that can feed the algae in your pond overnight. That algae would produce oxygen, thus you've then got an oxygen in your pond all up for 24 hours.
But then you're not going to get the same.
I'm not talking about a koi pond. I'm just saying you can create the
this is what I'm getting at. Yeah.
Oh, you'd never see your fish either.
I'm just invented it.
I
mean, it's always objective, Penny, but yeah, they're not the answer. If you got solar panels that go to a battery,
yeah,
by all means,
you can bank it up.
Yeah, but then you're not doing 300 quid. You're doing £3,000
and some. Yeah,
but that's my point. Is that the question was a gimmicky product that's been brought out. That for me is the biggest gimmicky product that's on any shelf in any pond shop.
Yeah, but it's a bit like electric cars, isn't it?
Yes. Gimmicks.
This is media, isn't it? Who wants one? Not me.
I'd rather have a drone. They seem to be everywhere.
That's my contribution to the question, anyway.
Right, Rick, go on. What is, in your opinion, the best or most gimmicky product to have been brought onto the market this year?
The best and most gimmicky.
The best or most gimmicky product that's been brought onto the market this year.
I don't know. I don't want to get.
You don't do gimmicks, do you? Or products?
My issues are I've done this for my entire life.
60 odd years.
You finished? Is it over?
Yeah, well, no, I've literally done. So I've been around, and you've seen every product come on.
You've seen full circle.
How many of them do you use?
None, basically. They all have a place. They can all do something, but to get it to do something in the environment for the right amount of time. So you can go from old blanket treatments. You used to get magnets that go on the pipe to copper wires to box filters that do whatever, or to we got ceramic medias that come from the space thing, and you can the surface area on this is a million to one, but actually in reality you can't use that on that. Or there's every single thing you've seen has been and gone and come round again, and that's how we learn, because you use those and you modify them and they become your mainstay. So the first person that said we can use this light bulb to kill algae, of course you can't. But actually, yeah, you can. But it's got to be the right type and it in the right way. So yeah, you should embrace all of them, but you shouldn't be taken in. They don't all do everything they say on the tin, but they all probably do part of it, and with a bit of refining and a bit of in the right situation. Great. But in reality, you all come back to the same basics, isn't it? If you've got to house a bacteria to make your water better, you need a surface area. You can't make that surface area pretty much any different, whether it's K1, alpha grog, whatever media it is, it's the same. It needs the same stuff. So yeah, I've seen it all, and yeah, we pretty much use none of it. but we use parts of it, like pumps that use less electric. That's gone through us. That's amazing, isn't it? And then
Are you a politician?
Am I what, politician?
Yeah, dances around a question.
Should be.
Should have had one product and gone, cack toilet.
Yeah, but we don't really sell. We don't sell products. So at the end of the day, it's not like I sell or don't sell. We don't. We trial everything and go.
That's shit. Go back to basics.
But they work in the given situation, don't they? So
basics work, Rick, and it's worked for centuries. So why change it?
But basics aren't basics. That they're the rules of nature.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
That's
the best way to produce something from nature is to imitate it.
And yeah, as soon as you make something smaller and more effective, the more it's affected by a power cut or a lack of flow or whatever. So yeah, from our point of view, just simplicity, which is why that's simple.
Tony's put in a good one there, which I do think this is not probably one of the best products, but it's not so much really gimmicky. I'm thinking of the mains power battery backup for an air pump. Now, if your mains go off and you've got a battery backup system that can do a 24-hour period before it comes back on, that's a fish lifesaver, isn't it? And it is a very good product.
Yeah. So we've got some of them, and we bought them because Gary at Gatwick put me onto them. But they're not
my best gimmick anyway.
They're not that easy to get. I don't get why they're not pushed. Or
they're hard to get hold of.
Yeah, we've had a nightmare getting hold of them. Most of them come from hydroponics, cannabis growing situations. They're like, oh, we really need that. So that's mental, isn't it? That is a great thing. The issue with that for me is the fact that obviously the battery powers, it charges itself, but unless you turn it off X amount of times a year to see how long it runs for, you're starting to rely on something that might not run when you need it. So yes, it's good, but I'm still in that same camp of I'm not going to rely on that solely because
I think for a farm that would be extremely difficult too. You need some more larger scale, don't you? But for an individual fish keeper, for a 2 to 3 hour blackout, that is potentially a very good gimmicky product that's being brought out.
We've got them on the farm all over the place because they are. You put them on the ponds that are the most susceptible to a power cut. Those that are most heated, overstocked, heavily fed. So they're on those ponds. So if there is a situation with the power, they get the extra air. If for whatever other reason you're not notified. But we got alarm systems that notify, but they're not foolproof.
No,
the alarms don't notify your phone or whatever, or you're too pissed to notice your phone went off. Or whatever. So there's human error, there's technological error,
or you don't have a mains power loss, you have an equipment failure where that SOS system don't kick in.
Exactly. So yeah, and so at the end of the day, every little backup you put in can save massively. But
my best gimmick that I think that personally for me, is my leaf strainer. It's mint. It's saved me an absolute fortune, and say you are an absolute gent. That thing has been banging on my pond. It saved me so much hassle, stripping my pump apart every 2 minutes. That's a little banging thing. But I guess that would be the same for anybody that might have like a, what do they call them?
External pump.
No.
It's not gimmicky, though. They come as retrofit for every pump you buy for a swimming pool. Whatever. It's
gimmicky to me. That's what I said. To me, it's my best gimmicky little thing that I've thought and I've received and I've got this year. To me, that's been an absolute little gem. A little gem. It's brilliant. Absolutely ace. The amount of shit that thing picks up, which prevents me from having problems in my filter system. I've had dry carpet for 3/4 of this year in my shed. That's been like rocking horse shit for the most time that I've had that filter system in there because it's constantly overflowed.
Seriously, bad sexual problem, doesn't it? Oi, you got dry carpet?
But it's been a little banger for me. That's been brilliant. Money no object, fit a changeover generator. Yeah,
I have
anyway.
one, honestly. No, to be fair, right? So when I set up the bit, there's another bit of the farm you've never seen. I had 70 10-ton ponds, all for supplying the trade. And because it was all heated and done, the only place I could get what the generator needed was from a submarine company. So it come from when the power knocks out, so the power goes out and the generator kicks in and supplies everything. And it saved my bacon a few times. And then the control board, which is like some giant mother thing, didn't work one day. And that was it. No, I couldn't get anyone out to. It was like that was the end of the road. So there's like 10 grand's worth of investment to suddenly. No, I've now got a 10 kilowatt diesel generator that won't start because this control board don't want to work. And it was like, oh, it was one of those situations where, yes, it worked, but again, it's another massive gimmick that.
That's what we've got at the shop, mate. We've got a fucking huge generator. We do a weekly test on it to make sure that it kicks in and then starts, and quite often it'll work within 2 seconds of mains power going out. But the issue is we need it there for a lifesaver as part of our pet shop license. But truth be known, you know, for the amount of power cuts you get, it's a huge investment. It's only there as a lifeline if it don't.
I only had it there as a lifeline, and it worked most of the time. But the one day it didn't work, and then because there was no manual way of starting it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It was like, well, I can't start the generator without this circuit board thing.
And then you can't get no spares. You got no one that knows how to put it together.
Yeah, it literally was. It probably paid for itself, but at the end of the day, 10 grand's worth of gear ended up getting scrapped because it was just like
Scrapped it.
That's a huge loss as well.
Your lass is putting your black tights on Creel there at background, just in case you.
That's right. I have to make sure she works, mate.
Sorry, guys. As we all got nattering and chatting, I forgot to add it. If anyone would like to join us on this last show of 2024, the link is there pinned to the top. Feel free to jump in. We can have 12 people on. You can welcome to come in and have a Christmas cheers and join us for a drink. Oh, we've got that. How quick was that?
Quick, wasn't it?
Festiveness as well. We've got another one.
Oh,
anybody think that was planned? Thank you for the reminder.
Jesus.
I don't know what you're talking about. Sorry.
Go on then. You two new people that have just come in. The best gimmicky product that you have seen come out this year.
Fish balls, footballs for fish.
Footballs for fish. Good evening, Chris.
Footballs for fish.
Chris is in a truck.
Yes.
Chris is in the truck.
Rocking it.
Give us a big blast and air on.
have you just got pants on?
Just, yeah. That's why I've got to hold the camera at this angle.
Have you got another big on?
No, he's in the bed.
Wake everybody up. Yeah, fuck them all. They're all going to wake you up at 3:30 morning when they leave early.
Have you got
exactly.
the back open so they don't suffocate?
Gimmicky product. Marcus gone. Gimmicky product. Go.
Gimmicky product.
It's not gimmicky, but it's probably not new to most people. But I started using the old air curtains this year for flow more than anything.
I'd say that's probably become more popular this year and the back end of last.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's still
Have them all across one end wall for pushing the flow all one way.
now. Right, question on that then. For example, where my pond is, where my return is, would it be a good idea to have one air curtain at the return coming back in to blow everything that way?
It doesn't blow it.
Out the other.
To blow or what? Watch.
Yeah, one end to the other. Yeah, I mean, I
Does
use
it not
that
really matter which end it's at?
for the best growth and getting the right body shape and everything, or giving the fish the best chance, you want to put it on a treadmill. So yeah, one end to the other.
Is that what your missus said to you?
Oh, we need. So you're saying I now need a treadmill for fish?
No.
No, to be fair, I think a lot of people get air a bit wrong, don't they?
I don't know. That's why we're asking. Go for it.
Well, yeah, but it draws stuff to it, so you get
Father Christmas.
Yeah.
You get a circular current.
Oh, for Christmas.
What's going on here? Father Christmas?
Father Christmas got no staff, so he's come on looking like a reindeer.
Jeez.
Tony, you better have a alcoholic beverage with you too. Everybody.
I drunk mine.
Drunk mine.
Don't refill it.
Yeah.
Can't refill it. It's just done as its quota.
I've got to go all the way out to the kitchen to do that.
Yeah, I think an air curtain is. I don't know. You want to get a flow. So if your flow is.
Come on, let's get one more in. It's all uneven.
Oh, shit. Come on.
On my ponds, because I'm pump fed, I've got a single returning on one corner. So to give it the flow all across one end, using an air curtain gives me that effect.
Yeah, it will do. Yeah, it will draw the bottom one way and you get the roll.
It keeps it rolling, and the fish are basically on a treadmill then, and they'll get better growth that way.
Jeff, you need to turn your sound down in background. We're getting.
They just sit in the middle like that. They don't need to go anywhere.
Dark in here.
YouTube off, Jeff.
Just a second.
You don't need to watch what you're a part of.
It's dark in here since.
I'm recording.
Turn it off now.
I'm recording it for you, Jeff. You can watch it on catch up.
I'll turn it off now.
If anybody, I think I'm not 100% sure, but I think I can get 12 in. Let's test it.
You want to get some more in? Let's see what happens.
Science, let's do it.
For science, let's fill it for Christmas.
Right, I'm not
like
posh
12
enough.
days of Christmas if we can.
I'm not posh enough, you see, to own a wine glass, so I do apologise, people, but I'm using my gonk mug instead.
I am, but I thought I'd go with the older. Merry Christmas,
gone for a
everybody.
mug.
Merry Christmas, all.
Not one of us owns a wine glass. Look.
I normally drink straight out of a bottle,
Hatfield.
but as I'm on wine, I thought it'd be a bit impolite if I just started chugging on this.
McDonald's, other fast foods are available. If you want to sponsor us, you can.
It's actually sugar-free.
Sugar-free.
Oh, look at you being a good boy.
Get loads of burgers, though, you know.
Hang about, they've just eaten 6 burgers and now you want a sugar-free pot.
6 burgers, 4 chips, and a Diet
Good
Coke.
evening, Lisa. 6
Hello, Lisa.
Hi, Lisa.
Right, Chris, let's get it right so we can see all your lovely faces. Switch your camera this way. We're all YouTubing right now. There we go.
And Lisa, apparently.
Lisa,
Your
you
turn
need to
now.
go from portrait to landscape.
Crafty knows me.
Crafty
Go
knows
on.
you. Turn your camera the other way and we'll be banging.
Right, hang on a minute.
You just take it. No, just take your phone and turn it.
Oh, right. Okay.
No, not so we can see your living room.
Lisa, like this, look.
Turn your phone.
Do it that way.
Lisa,
Like that.
it was from like this to this.
Right.
Unless you've got screen lock rotation on, you'd have to turn that off.
All right. Like that.
Turn your phone.
Hey.
Hey.
She did it.
I did it.
Perfect. I reckon if your Rocket Boy had a child, it'd be amazing.
Wait a minute. Somebody else has got a tally on then.
Caca.
Ooh.
No, we're good.
Nope.
If we all stay silent,
Right then. Jeff, best gimmicky product of this year that you've seen or you've used or you think is out there. Tony, have you got blue eyeshadow on?
Reflection in his glasses.
Reflection of his TV and his lenses makes his eyes look blue.
You
Sorry.
found me out.
There we go. It's gone. It's just on your glasses. You're lucky.
Well, blue suits you. It's fine.
Yeah.
Jeff's not answering you, so
Jeff, what's the gimmicky product of the year?
Right. I'm hearing
Voices.
right, I'm
You need to
hearing
go doctors for that.
everything twice.
Yeah, you've got to turn your sound off on the other bit.
Turn your sound
have.
off on your device.
That might be me.
I've turned
Hang on.
everything off. All that's on
Oh,
is my
hang about.
computer.
You might be streaming into Discord.
I am.
you
That's why I'm getting rid of it. My bad.
Oh, Vicky, you
Right,
should be better than that.
Shut him off completely now.
There
Oh,
you go.
we've lost Jeff.
Fix it.
So then, Lisa, the best gimmicky product you've seen of 2024.
Ooh.
And keep it pond related, please.
Pom related. Crafty's pom balls.
Mate, they was fucking non-existent.
No,
Not
but the fish
gimmicky.
I've got off you is big. It's growing, Crafty. It's growing.
That's good. That's what we need to hear. Got to feed it.
Oh, we've got a cricket bat to add to the stage, and let's see if we can get Jeff back in when he comes back.
Hey.
Cricket bat.
Can you not
Sarah
think
can
of one,
help.
Lisa? If you can't, please say pass.
Pass.
Pass. Right. Cricket bat, Sarah. Best gimmicky product of the year.
GKP.
Hey. Hey. Have a Christmas. Got no staff.
Well,
What do you think your best gimmicky product of the year?
to be honest, I think all these can I say a trade name?
You can say whatever you want, mate.
All these Cactoli bloody things. That's one's a Wi-Fi one, and another one's a not a Wi-Fi
That's
one.
what I did say as well. The
God.
best gimmicky product. Do you think it's one of the best ones, though? As it's
No.
technically,
No.
it's for ponds. I mean, for tanks, not for ponds.
They're probably all right if you want to know all that information, but what do you want to know all that tripe for? You know.
What you water? Keep it simple. Rick keeps
I
it
used to
simple. He
do
just
that
recycles
Guardian,
it.
but just
Yeah,
because
but you don't need a bloody bit of box on the wall to tell you about your water. All you need is a little test tube and a few drops or something in it.
Exactly. It spoils all the science stuff behind it, doesn't it? All that crazy mad 5 drips of this and 4 drips of the other.
Bethany loves it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Loves
let's
testing the
see.
water. It's mental.
Chris, come on, we're going
Leave
round
it.
the circle. Are we going to do round?
Probably,
round
probably from
You need
what I
to
do
connect
for a
your mic
living,
and
the
Jeff before
most
we can
gimmicky product I could probably ever think of is anything that goes on an app on a phone that warns you about something. Because when you're doing my job and you're in Scotland and it warns you got an issue in Derby, it's a total waste of time. So anything with an app going, you've got a heron in your garden. Well, yeah, I'm 6 hours away, or it's just annoying and it stresses you out. And I'd rather not know and find out when I get home.
But all
Yeah,
you
I'm with
need
you on
then,
that.
Chris, you just need one of those blow up
Yeah,
Random
just
dogs.
sit there, you
on
throw
the
them in the
streets
garden.
that you can just
Right, I'm
click
fucking buying some of them for the shop.
and
I'm
turn it
buying
on.
some of them for the
Go.
shop.
I reckon
got
the
the woolly
woolly
bit.
Heron
scarer
scarer
keep
come
herring
this
at bay.
way. Car sales room.
I got one of those. I got one of those Inkbird thermometer things, and it was okay when I first had it. Now it won't even link to the bloody phone, so I have to go to the pond and have a look at the top of it.
Tell
see
me,
what
when was the
temperature
last time you updated your phone?
is.
2004.
No. I got an iPhone 16 that I only bought about a month ago.
Oh, so you haven't got.
It's the iPhone 22 now.
Have you not got 18.5 out on it yet? Then, bet you haven't.
No idea.
There you go. So
It updates itself.
no,
That's how clever it is.
That's
Never
how
goes
clever
out
it
of
is.
date.
they
Just
never
up-
update themselves. They prepare you for it. Oh, no, Jeff, have you got? There we go. Oh, we can have another. We can have.
Two more, guys.
Is that
Hey,
better,
two
Jeff?
more. Who's gonna?
Did you
Are we
send-
actually gonna get the full 12 on? Is anybody daring enough, brave enough, got the big that coy
Well,
guy? I know you
Rob,
always
Rob
like to think
Foxy says a
Christmas.
lot on there. He needs to
Go on,
come
jump
on,
on.
show his face.
Jeff, did you still have Discord open?
No, I didn't.
All right.
Yes,
It just kept repeating everything. No.
Can you hear it now, Jeff? Kaka! Tuki, tuki, tuki.
Yeah. What is the
Name
one
the film.
thing? The one thing you'd have in koi keeping you would not do without. Come on.
Koi.
One thing.
I've just changed it completely, just because I'm getting in there. The one thing.
We can only have 10. That's it. We're half full. Sorry,
Okay.
somebody else is gonna join.
No,
One
one thing. Right, one thing in koi keeping that you just
Good
can't.
water quality. Good water
Oh.
quality.
That shitty.
iOS 18.2. There you go, Tony. You're on it. You've done it.
That shitty filter start stuff. Crap.
Oh, which one?
PSB, yeah, that's pretty good.
That's the
Wait a
one
minute.
thing you couldn't do
Well,
without.
I know which one he's meaning. He's meaning the one that you mix up yourself, and it's been
Oh, right. Yeah.
the one that you grow your own bacteria.
From Burton's, is it?
We're going to get to find out. Sorry if we piss off yet again another company, but we're good at it, so why not? I seem to be a master at rolling, and there we go.
It. That's what you do.
Right.
What was that pond paint stuff
Bacterial
called that they brought out this year?
Other products are available because this one's crap, apparently.
Does it come from China or Germany?
When they got any moving parts, mate, it can't be Germany.
He's not that fucking quick. He's retired now. He's our Jeff. He didn't get over there that quick. He just got it from Shed.
I've binned it now.
Did you not like it?
Lakeland yogurt maker. Well done, gals. Thanks, Mark. Well, we're masters at it, aren't we? Let's say something came from China. What else we can say came from somewhere it didn't come from? Piss somebody else off.
Guys, look, hang on. How many of us are on it?
10.
What was my question earlier?
A product that you can't do without, or something that you would
No, influence.
all right.
Influences
Yeah,
of koi's
this
development.
why are you asking me a question you wrote?
It's 10 answers.
Because you're the host and you're the
How
one
many
that's got them.
different? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. Quiz time. Are you ready? Answers
Right,
on the
you guys
postcard.
go first. You got down the bottom, go last.
Answers on the. No, I'm not going first. I don't need to go first. I'm asking the question, so I have to go through it 9 times for everybody. How many different influential factors are involved to determine the outcome in koi development? And my first question goes to. We shall start in reverse order.
Oh,
There you go, Jeff. Your question is, how many different influential factors are involved to determine the outcome in koi's development? Now, if you think about this correctly, it could be a real simple answer or a long, drawn-out one.
I'll go first then.
No. You're not stealing my thunder. You can get lost. I just came up with that perfect idea. It's 7. Next.
I was going to say it was more than that. I thought it was
7
more like
factors.
14 or something like that.
I need to know them.
Oh, you didn't say
If you
that.
could all answer me a good one, then I'll be better at the koi farming, wouldn't I?
Water.
Okay.
Water.
Shall I start with mine? I'll start with mine.
No. You got to wait until you're asked, Father Christmas.
Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go on, Jeff. What do you
Yeah, but
reckon?
you'll steal mine.
How many different influential factors are
We're not going
involved?
for a number. We're going to all name one of the factors. Jeff, come on. You name the factor.
Wait a minute. I'm still hearing everything 3 times.
Well, if you're still hearing it 3 times, you've heard me say the question 3 times. You should have answered already by now.
Hey, Jeff, you need to
answer. I'm trying to answer, and I can't.
Oh, yep.
Right, you need to match up your hearing aid, Tom.
Because I'm hearing everything 3 fucking times.
We shall say that, Jeff, you failed this first assessment. Cricket bacteria.
Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
How many different influential factors are involved to determine the outcome of koi development?
I don't want to know a number. Let's get
I'm going to say pH is one of them.
Environment.
Thank you.
But that's too big.
You just said an answer. So I would say
that's
environment and
Rick,
genetics.
that's a fair answer, man.
Bone
That's a fair answer.
No, I would
fair
say
answer.
environment and genetics.
Vicky, it's not your turn.
Yeah, you wait your turn, miss.
Yeah.
Ladies first
Well,
one
no
here,
one
mate.
was taking a turn, so I used my initiative.
No, you never. You butted in. Very poor.
Back to your wine.
I was stopped.
Thank you.
This is why we don't have 10 people on at once, folks. It just goes to show. Right, so we've had an early answer from Vicky, so that's minus 10 points. We've had a quick, I'm going to jump in from Marcus, which is minus 10 points. Sarah, would you like to give us your answer?
I would say pH.
pH, thank you very much. There's one. Right. Marcus, would you like to give us your answer on one of the many different influential factors are involved to determine the outcome of Koi's development?
It's diet.
Good. Let's do a big
You've
one.
changed your answer. I like your thinking, sir. That gets you 5 points back. Only
Oh,
half of them.
nice.
Chris.
Come on, Jeff. Give us one. Oh, Chris.
I would say the knowledge and experience of the person keeping the fish.
No, that's a fair answer.
That wasn't even in my answers.
Father Timus?
Well, I got a few, but I can only have
I
one.
only want one. Let's not make-
Okay,
let's not
I'm
make
gonna-
it
mate.
I'm going to say parent stock.
Genetics. That is
Okay,
genetics. In a
genetics.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm not being funny. That is pretty much genetics. Done. We've got that.
Lisa?
Temperature.
Heat.
We're getting good heat.
Vicky?
I'd already gave mine.
Okay.
No, your turn.
We've revamped.
Yeah.
Revamped.
What have we had?
Husbandry.
No, we've had that.
We
From
had
Chris.
that one. Yeah.
Had that one.
You just
Different
give it the
words.
posh, you just give it the posh name.
Well, whatever.
What have we had? Heat, environment, pH,
Food.
Genetics.
genetics, food.
Temperature.
Husbandry.
Yeah. So that puts you to craft it.
Fucking hell, man! Now we're digging.
No, we're not. You've all missed the biggest one of them all.
Oh,
I'll
shit.
get it in just before I'm seeing as everybody jumped in and said it. Filtration.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I was bringing that down to husbandry.
What?
Yeah, I agree. I
That's
agree,
cleaning the
Carthy.
filtration. What happens if you had a self-cleaning system?
Oh,
There is no
fair enough.
husbandry involved.
We've had environment.
I'm not sure environment is a thing. That's lots of things, isn't it?
Vince put it in capital letters, so it must be true.
Okay, flow rates.
Not a bad one.
Richard.
I'll go for photo period.
For what?
Photo period. It's the amount of
Well,
light.
fucking
So
it
the
again.
amount of light every day.
You
photo
just
period.
made that up, Rick.
No, I didn't, mate. It's massive.
No, you did. No.
Can I go again?
Jeff, you want
There's loads more. We got
UV.
UV. That's not bad. I'm loving that as well. That
Light,
was
mate.
huh?
Light.
Space.
Yeah, you know, but there's a difference, right? Photo period and UV are different.
Did you say photo period?
Yes.
Oh, right. Okay. Okay.
As
I
in
said
the,
photo
how long
period.
it takes you to get a picture of a fish in the right position when you fancy ball so it just doesn't fly backwards and forwards? Is that, we're going back there again. No.
Daylight is what he means. How much daylight is getting.
No, I'm giving it daylight, but just giving it UV. They're different.
What about space?
That's what I said.
Another one.
When did you say that? I didn't hear you.
What about
Ages ago.
competition?
About what? Competition.
Competition.
Yeah.
So we're already up to about 12, 15 things here, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yep.
And there's more.
Come here, there's more.
Collection of the
What
fish.
they do, that used to do handles, folk handles for folks.
But do you know what I'm getting at something here, right? People think it's like genetics and heat. You grow a fish.
No.
Hey,
TBS.
You got to select the right fish as well.
You got to select fish as well. Yeah, you have to buy one, Mark, because at some point.
Yeah.
No, but you got to
How
select.
how about the most important one that
You
everybody
look at a
forgot?
bowl of fish. Some will
Yeah,
grow.
talking to your fish.
Hang about. No, there's an even more important one that everybody forgot.
Water.
H2O.
Water.
Yeah.
Water.
H2O.
So we've got hormone levels.
Did we
Is
say
that,
KX?
is that right, Rick? Is that a definite thing? Do tooci produce a hormone level that prevents their siblings from growing if it's not removed from the water? Is that right? Is that actually a thing?
All fish do.
Everything does.
God damn, my pond water must be full of hormones.
It's fine. They're not toast. They're all yon-side, that big.
But you have to buy female fish for it.
Rick, when you're asking this question,
You don't really.
do you think anybody, say for instance, just on this live, do you think
No, I don't.
anybody has the perfect pond?
No.
Yes.
Absolutely not.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
On your Nelly, because there's no such thing as a perfect pond.
Hang about.
Oh, all right.
There's somebody in here that works at somewhere called Perfect.
I've got 54 perfect ponds.
And he's got lots of ponds.
Who's that then?
So in reality, right, a perfect pond for a tooci is completely different to a perfect pond for a knee-side, to a sand-side, to a yon-side, to a showfish, to whatever. So there's no, you can't have one fixed body of water that fits.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
So what is a perfect pond then, Rick?
There is
Not mine, obviously, because there is no such thing. You can't have a perfect pond.
No.
All you can have is if you want to have jumbo showfish, I can tell you how to have a perfect pond. If you want to grow toes, I can tell you how to have a perfect pond. But you can't do the same two things in one pond.
No.
And then it gets more complicated because you can't do Utsuri varieties in the same way as you do like Sanki and whatever varieties. You can't do metallic varieties in the same way as you do.
What is it that makes the two different varieties, just because they're a different colour, grow different then?
Well, I've got to build 10 more ponds now, haven't I?
To promote the colours within them to create what you want to create. You can't do it with the same water quality. So you can't create A and B with the same water quality.
So why does really then, if you want to produce the perfect type of koi, really what you should be doing is having a specimen koi.
You go
if
right
you wanted to produce the best out of them all, you're going to have them all really the same.
You can't produce the best out of them all. That's the point. That's why farms in Japan.
Variety, yeah.
Boom. They have a water and a situation and an environment that suits.
Yeah. So, like for example, a kahaku would prefer something different to a Hiyatsura. A Hiyatsura would prefer something different to a Sanki or a Showa or whichever. So why do we all? Why is it the hobby that to have the vast majority of go Sanki or mixed single colours when really those fish that are all mixed together can't get the best of environments for themselves in that environment?
So they can't, because at the end of the day, you want a mixed pond, so you have to create an environment that's okay for all of them.
For all of them.
But it goes way more complicated than that. So a kahaku from bloodline over here wants a different environment to a kahaku. So that's why we choose fish and we grow them on. Fish that do well in our environment is a fish we choose to breed and push on. There's no point us getting fish from Momotaro that are amazing, but bring them to us, breed them. They're shit. They just do not do well in our water. So there's a difference. All these different bloodlines work different in different environments.
So how do we produce the perfect pond for all types?
You can't.
It's all a compromise.
See, I can keep Shirawatsuris and keep the Sumi perfect. Put showers in there and they've gone. The Sumi drops off.
We have to send them to Hakus, don't we?
That's a difference.
Is that genetics?
Yeah, of course it's genetics. The Sumi will only react to the environment it's in. But if the genetics, if Omasako, Shiro, Utsuri, which was probably what you're buying, do well in that environment, but the showers you buy them from somewhere else don't.
Well, I've got
Your environment is not suitable for every koi. You
That's a
cannot
good
make
one. Keep Vince's
I've got
ball.
I've got three different stories. I've got an NND, I've got an Omasako, and I've got I think the other one's a Momotaro.
But NND are using Omasako parents, and Momotaro probably using. So you're still using.
So they're all probably from the same
thing.
stock, right? Yeah.
And the showers you've got might be coming from showers that have got more Kahaku blood in them to increase the Benny quality.
But then, just because you've got an Omasako parent set doesn't mean to say you haven't got another genetic from another breeder of a different type of fish.
Yeah,
in there as well. There's such a cocktail of mixes out there now. They struggle to tell you what the parent sets are a lot of the time.
The admin's running behind and just come back in with heat.
And light.
And light.
Nice to see you're keeping up there, Aaron. Nice to see you're keeping up there. Well done.
He just popped out some cheese and crackers, didn't you, Aaron? Come back in and he's on catch up. Yeah.
But what I'm going to say, so that
it's as bad as I was, isn't it?
At least 12 different answers. What actually makes a good environment or influence the environment to make your koi better, and we're barely scratching, so we could probably tell that to 20 that realistically will make a difference to how your fish develop and grow and perform.
And there'll be some stuff that you wouldn't even think about, like enzyme levels
and Mackie D wrappers, because that do
you know. And the other thing is the constant changing of how you look after your pond with water quality, for example.
Best answer right there. Spondulas.
Spondulas. It's not spondulas, is it?
What it is.
It's not.
If I buy the best bloodline and have the best of capabilities pond-wise, best filtration,
but
best knowledge, best experience, pay someone to do it all for me.
That's not my best experience.
That's not spondulas.
I can go to the world's best and say, come and make my fish fucking big, mate. There's some wad to do it.
Yeah.
And you will get big fish.
You've got the genetics, and you may have bought from the best breeder. If you haven't got the right fish, then that means absolutely fuck all.
Look at all these people then that are winning the Grand Champions at the All England.
They got them for
the national.
They all paid a
fiver fishing.
Yeah, but just because the parents,
You know, what do they pay for that
doesn't mean it's going to work the other way, does it?
But you're not going to get a cheap fish that wins GC anywhere.
No.
Whoa! It's been done.
It's not been done.
Of course it has.
By who?
Winners.
Grand Champion winners.
In the UK, maybe
Where?
not the Grand Champion, but people have bought extremely cheap fish. Not Grand Champion, yeah.
GC winners, right? Grand Champion winners.
Men that won the koi.
They paid 100,000.
No, you've got to strip that back, right? So if you've bought a fish for 500 quid and you go on to win a GC, right? By getting it there, you've spent thousands. Period. You've got to have the right temperature, the right food, the right pond, the right flow rates, and that's all money
for multiple years as well.
Yes.
So money doesn't. So the answer to the question is spondulas.
Money. Yeah.
No,
but doesn't that go back to what you were discussing the other week, though, when you were on about shows and getting people into shows?
Yeah.
When we were discussing the other week about the shows and how to get people into showing fish, if people see that the only way you're going to reach that level is by having thousands of pounds in your pocket, it's going to stop people at a certain level and go, it's no point because we can't afford to get to that level.
It's true. It's true to an extent. However, you don't have to go into the show scene to win the GC. No. Right? You can still go in there and take a junior champion, a baby champion, an adult champion, because of the sizes are more obtainable by anyone, and anyone can achieve that without spending a huge amount of money.
Yeah.
Right, but as soon as you start going into 6s and 7 sizes, getting a fish at that sort of size to compete, right, is extremely difficult. Number one, to get it from a Tozai is even more difficult, right?
Yeah.
Especially to achieve that over here.
I found that trying to get
real-
my fish big. I mean, 4 quarter-pounders, and the water goes to crap.
Right.
I think the point is the koi shows, right? You imagine a dog show, right? There is only one dog show one dog that's gonna win Labrador dog, whatever show.
Dog shows are all fixed.
Vince,
But
Doitsy.
with koi shows, you're not going to buy a cheap fish and win. Geez, you're not going to win those top prizes. But like Vince has been,
Why do you keep telling me every time I buy a fish from you, this is a GC, mate, potential, and if that's the case? Why do you keep telling me that?
Because you'll believe it, mate. He knows who he can say that.
But Vince has won like best Deutz with basically a cheap fish from us, right? Best Deutz International, right? That's a major award for a cheap fish, and you can
I
win.
hope he takes it to become grand champion one day. Can it? It's going to be good.
You can win all these different awards at a koi show with good skill, cheaper fish, knowledge, whatever. It's not spondoolies, but you go beyond a certain size and a certain realm.
Yeah,
six or seven.
You're not going to win it with cheap. You just physically cannot win it.
You only have to look at the entries in a koi show. When it comes down to GC, there's probably 7 or 8 fish that fit that size category. That it depends what show you go to, because GC can be awarded to any fish pretty much. All right. However, it's very difficult to get it away from that size category, right? But there's only 6 or 7 fish that are ever entered that will ever take the honours of the GC at the national, for example. And then when you look at those that are actual real contenders, you can really narrow it down to 3, right? And then generally there's one standout fish on the day.
Well, there's only ever one GC in there.
Then there's always the fish that's the ugliest that gets a top award, isn't there?
Jumbo. There's never an ugly fish. Just fish that could do better.
I've seen some jumbos that are pretty ugly.
Yeah, I mean that's
we can't say that, Tony.
Eye of the beholder, isn't it? You know,
Yeah.
I've seen jumbos that are not showfish. They're just
because it's big. Does it make it beautiful?
I'm just thinking next year at Crafts.
Be careful, ladies and gents. Be careful what you say now.
Crafts, we're going to cross next year. We're going to do Jumbo Champion, the fattest dog there. It's the longest dog.
Longest sausage dog.
Vader.
Vader's not going to any show, mate. She's a nightmare.
Molly, do you want to go to a show?
I've got the daftest. I've got the biggest. Oh no, that's wrong. I nearly.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I nearly said something
We said
completely
this.
wrong. I was going to say I've got a stupid cockapoo that I could take. But I nearly said I've got the biggest cock then, but that would be for another show.
Yeah.
We've seen this great big buffoon.
The one I've got is definitely a
It's gone.
Look at me drinking.
Now having a
Sarah,
sneezing
you
fit
see
in the
what I'm
background.
doing here? To keep you happy, I'm drinking 19 crimes out of a fucking coffee cup.
If I'm being honest,
And
I
if I
was
hadn't
gonna
realised
drink him.
before, I'm drinking my coffee out of the Lee Hadfields instead of GKP, which is still in this box, Gaz.
Yeah, it's all right, Jeff. I understand where your loyalties lie, mate. And there will be next time you click on that said link, you'll be going, see you later.
Yours is still in the box because it's worth more money.
This was unopened before I started.
If my cup is ever worth anything, Jeff, I'll buy it off you. Right then. Next one.
Let's have a proper question.
This is a proper question, and it's questions within questions within questions. Are you ready?
Yes. Hula hoops. Are they round or they square?
Tom Churchill, first of all, has wrote in and he said, I'm
He
interested
wrote
in what...
He wrote in.
You have to write in. It's here. Look, think about it. I'm not lying around. Look.
It's a bit unfair.
Is it not typed?
No, he wrote it.
He
first from
wrote,
left.
took a picture of it and then posted it.
That's handwritten.
There's
isn't
my
it?
little reminder. Did you send the link out so that we can all join?
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. I've been waiting for it for ages. Said he'll do it in a minute. It'll be fine. He'll do it in a minute. No, hang on. I'm gonna have to fucking remind
Paul
him.
Churchill said, P.O. Box, you're right there, Paul Hutchinson, as we used to do back in the day. Answers on the postcard, P.O. Box, GKP. I'm interested in water quality and the pros and cons of RO and used in vegetable filters. So the pros and cons of RO will be as first section of the question. What are the pros and
bit
cons?
unfair for the team at the bottom. There's only 2 of them, aren't there?
Well, Tony, you are more than welcome to pay for the extra. That makes this 100% so we can have 12 in. Just send me a blank check and I shall make sure it happens so we can have 12 in. Then we can have 3 teams of 4.
Right, I'll tell you what, Gaz, what we should do, right, is we should go, I'll do a pro, Crafty does a con. Vicky
Yes,
does a pro,
brilliant.
Con, pro, con.
Right.
Until we run out.
Rick, pro of RO.
You're removing any hormones so the fish will grow faster.
I would have loved to have.
Crafty, con of RO.
I can't point, why can't I point that way?
Constant maintenance.
I don't know. Constant maintenance. Right then. Next one.
Vicky, pro, RO.
Pro of using a vegetable filter.
No, we're still doing RO, aren't we? That can't be it.
Whoa.
All right. A pro and a con of RO system.
Am I on pro?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pro
Yeah,
is
pro.
that you can make it the whatever you want it. So if you want it hard or soft or indifferent.
Oh, hey, knew you were going there.
You know, Rick.
Lisa, you'll have,
And
to
the
see me after,
initial
you'll have to
expense.
see me after class because you've not been paying attention. You were having a talk with somebody sat at the chair across from you. So the pros and cons. Yours is a con of RO system.
She answered it. You need to listen.
I can't listen because you're talking over it.
Initial expense.
Oh,
Good one.
annoying.
Oh, was you good for that, Tony?
That was a very good answer to say you weren't listening. Well done. 10 out of 10.
Christ.
Tony.
Man, she was
Yeah, she
listening.
has
Oh.
me.
Did you just
Really?
give her that answer? Minus 20 points. God damn it. Tony, Tony,
so
spin your
fair.
camera. Let's see if you've got anybody else in the room answering for you.
Oh, you shitbag.
Hang about. That was pro con. Pro of an RO system.
Pro.
Pro. A pro,
Pro of
for
the
our
RO
system.
system.
Full control of your water quality. I don't know.
That's Vicky's. I'm not sure. Come on, Tony, do better.
No, Vicky said it was expensive to fit. That's
No,
what I
she
was
never.
thinking.
No, that was the next one.
Oh well, in that case, it's
Now, who's
the
paying
control.
attention?
I am sorry, ladies and gents.
This
okay.
is what happens when you get too many of us on here.
Anybody's in
Yeah.
here.
Well,
What are the benefits of having pure water for your fish?
No, it's a con of having pure water for his fish.
yeah, that's what I just said.
No,
These
it's
was a
not
Well,
con.
Lisa was a pro. Pro, con, pro, con.
No.
You wanted a pro.
Shit, I'm lying.
I was pro.
Pro. All right. Pro. Go for it.
I have no idea.
Fair.
Okay.
No TDS, no dissolved solids, nothing to inhibit the growth.
Well, that's it. That just make it harder for everybody else that gets a pro.
Understanding, right? A con, understanding what it is that you're getting into.
Mm.
Well, that
Yeah.
goes another one for cons.
Is a pro less prone to disease?
You're on con.
You're
No.
gone.
I spent ages thinking of that one. Now I can't
You're
think
a
of one.
con. Go for the con.
Seems a costly, unnecessary
No,
additive. I think.
No, you're you, Tony. No.
Chris is
Andy-
con. Marcus
Andy
is
Finch,
pro.
Andy
Sarah
Finch would
pro.
argue with Case.
Jeff
I
pro.
can't give it a pro. It ain't got no pros.
What am I,
It has.
pro or con?
Chris.
Oh, I don't know.
Gone.
Con.
Con, Chris.
Um,
You are allowed to pass, by the way.
Pass.
So that, Chris, that now means you're on pro.
Pro.
He passed.
No,
He
no,
passed.
Marcus.
Less likelihood of disease.
It is, we could take it. I don't
Marcus,
know.
con.
Come on then, Marcus. Come.
Con. I thought it was going to be pro. That's fooled me.
Nah.
You
Take your head out of bucket or turn your volume up. That's it. It works when you rock forward.
It's all right when it's working.
Cricket bat.
Technologically involved.
That means you're on pro.
Can I pass?
Jeff, that means you're on pro. Don't pass to me, you bastard.
Am I on pro? Fucking hell. I was going for con, you see. I've got the con worked out.
We'll go for pro. Come on, Jeff. You can do one pro.
No, I can't. I can't think of a pro. Because to me, it's a complete and utter waste of time.
Yeah.
It's the waste. You know, you're throwing more away than you're using.
I think it needs a deep understanding.
It's a bit like an
otherwise you don't
orange.
know what you're doing, do you?
Yeah.
When I have an orange, I end up throwing
The
more.
pro, another pro to it is you're removing all the elements so that you can then you can then add back some of the required elements that you need rather than those that you don't.
And they want the lion's share next year.
There you go.
Just
quickly.
With arrow, you throw away more than you're using, don't you?
Yeah,
but you use 25%.
From Telford Koi Pond, he's loaded, so he's not bothered about throwing his water away because he gets clean, fresher water. But the con, I know what you were going to go with on a con, so we'll go. I shall start off. Next con is loss of sumi.
Is it?
Yes, it does cause.
Yeah, it's true.
You do lose sumi on your fish.
Can I just 1 minute?
Go for it.
So hang on.
How many times are we going around with the pros and cons?
Ian and Carmen Jenkins run it on theirs.
Are you less likely
That's
to
it now. Now it's the next. Now it's the next part of the question.
Oh, hey, Tony, you might you? A shimmy is sumi in colour, so yeah. Arrow is really easy if you run it a simple trickle in setup.
I've got a little girl that wants to say something to you.
Merry Christmas, sweetheart.
Happy Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
They're nice gin jams.
Merry football dartsmas.
Have I had your letter?
Oh yeah, you had that letter weeks ago. Trust me.
Oh, dear me.
You'd know it. It was about 2 foot long.
Oh, right.
Next one.
That was the one, was it?
Jeff, the letter.
Sorry.
Pros and
we
cons.
answered that very scientifically.
Jeffrey.
Pros and cons of a vegetable filter. Obviously, I get to go first. Pro vegetables.
I'll go con. Can I go con then?
Yes.
Yeah.
The debris, the root and leaf debris will cause problems to blocking filters.
Pro.
I don't agree with them. I'd never sell a vegetable filter.
You don't sell them. You don't.
I'd never even go down that route personally because.
But you've seen them at Rick's.
No, because you need a huge amount of water and vegetables for it to be effective.
Yeah.
How many vegetables have you got growing, Rick?
I don't do vegetables. Hamburgers don't grow on trees, mate.
Oh my God.
two main ones.
Just give us a con.
Who, me?
No. Parasite campsite. Thank you, Frank.
Cheers,
Frank,
cheers,
I might,
Frank.
might switch you out for one of the panel members.
You do your bits. I'm coming back. I've run out of beer. It is Christmas, isn't it?
All right, I'll go with a pro.
Oh, yeah.
I'll go with a pro. All right.
Next week.
Hang about, you could pass.
I'll come back on a pro. Right, pro is no running costs.
Good pro. That is a good one.
But I had pro, you had con, you had pro.
No, I had pro, but I gave a con because I'm negative.
I said a con.
Well, what about the water that's being pumped through it then?
No, not the filtration. There's no running cost to a vegetable filter.
Well, the water has to go through it
No, there's
somehow.
no
and the
running
pump
cost.
that's
I've got a con.
Yeah, but the filter don't cost you out, does it?
I've got a con.
You see that much a drum filter cost?
Not one of you is going to come up with this, so I can say this con. Nobody else is going to come up with it, right? You can use it to produce really hot chilies, which give you a real hot ring sting come the following morning, like Rick got.
You can eat the fruits of the labour.
That's it, yeah.
Well, yeah.
Hot chili bum. That's definitely a con.
Yeah.
Go on then, Vicky.
Nice tomatoes, though.
At this point, I'm really confused about what I should be on. Am I on pro, con, or can you different?
You can give us one of each.
You're on con.
I'm on con.
One of each.
Okay, a con would be the maintenance of it, because you'd have to keep maintaining it, wouldn't you?
Lisa, I know you're always paying attention now and you're answering on your own.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's one. That's a con.
That's fine, yeah, shit.
Yeah, we can take that. We'll
That's
take
no
that.
good, Lord. She's waiting for an answer from
Come on, that's all right, Lisa. We will take shit as a con because you do get backed up with shit.
No, she's looking for an
She needs to
answer.
be on a pro.
Tony, we go for hang about. Tony will go for pro because Lisa said shit was a con. So 100% blockage and back up with shit. Yeah.
It can produce more tomatoes than you can eat in a year.
Well, yeah.
It depends how many you eat.
What happens if you're addicted to tomatoes?
Yeah.
Straight off the vine.
If you've only got one tomato plant.
What happens if you were Vince and you were there just sampling the fruits of nature every time you walked in?
Yeah.
Vince loves his vegetables in the filter house.
He does. He likes taking what don't belong to it. Oh, they look nice.
And I know it's very minimal, but it does help with nitrate.
And hang about, that were two answers. You suspended.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
No way.
Oh, you're banned.
Two answer, Tony.
That means you can't answer the next one, Tony.
This is more effective. This little question section here is more effective than
detergent.
No, it's more effective than the fish koi appreciation hour. We're losing viewers rapid. This is awesome. This means that the 24-hour live is going to be displayed to about 6 people.
Excellent.
Chris, go for it. Right. Give us a pro.
A pro. Environmentally friendly.
Oh, you smart
nice
bugger. You smart bugger. Mark,
that's coming from a truck driver.
A con.
If you get an issue in your pond, it's very difficult to get rid of.
What, your pond?
With parasites or bacteria.
It's true.
Yeah, it's true.
It's all true.
Not only that, what you use to get rid of it kills all your plants.
Yeah.
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 Cricket back Sarah. I'm not.
I was going to say that because I was con.
Hang about.
No.
Cricket bat
Sarah.
Cricket bat Sarah. I've got no fucking idea whether you're on pro or con. So answer what you want.
Sarah's pro.
At least some of us are still professional and do know what we're doing.
Tony's actually said what I was going to say is my answer.
No, you take it then.
And your answer is?
Only did 2.
My answer was
I
going to
want
be
to rush you, but you've got 15 seconds. Doom, 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 doom.
Boom.
My answer was going to be lower nitrates, but other than that,
lowers nitrates.
Nice.
Yeah,
that Tony couldn't have 2 anyway, so that's good. We'll go with that.
Yeah, that's fine.
And
well, I was going to say,
doesn't matter what you was going to say. You need to answer con.
Yeah, you're limited to what you can put in your pond.
Con.
You can't your chemicals. You know,
No, yeah, I suppose.
That's right, Jeff.
Can you still consume the veg once you're using chemicals? Yeah.
Even
salt?
Even
Can
salt
I go
kills
in
the
with an answer?
plants.
Yes.
Come on, my answer.
Can
Right,
we
are
have
we
a
ready?
sensible one? Go for it.
Imagine
Yeah,
a
move
product,
on.
right?
Move
Imagine
on.
a product that
Well,
could
let's
bond
move
up
on.
ammonia, that could take out phosphates, nitrates, increase your bacterial surface area to take out your nitrogen cycle, that can help in every aspect of your pond, right? Beyond what you comprehend, on a bacterial level, an enzyme level.
I bet Matt's fast
Across
asleep
the
now.
board, mate.
Right. Okay. Hang on. Whoa. Right. That's all well and
Good
good.
night, Matt.
But
Right.
if you've got a 5,000 gallon pond,
Yeah.
how much would you need to filter that effectively?
No. I'm not saying fit. I never said filter it.
About an acre.
Every bit's beneficial. But in reality, if you're putting it through a filtration system, you can incorporate a plant type filtration system.
I've got a con.
And that
All you
includes
can
the
have
algae
is
around the
like
sides
shit.
of it. That includes every point of it. It is
Fish
more beneficial than anything else you can do for your pond. Period. There is no other thing that will create a surface area for bacteria to live on, other than plants. They live in symbiosis. They live together.
Hang about. Say that one again. Say that one again. Simbi what?
You can't. He's had too much to drink.
I still say it, symbiosis, right? So the bacteria that you're trying to colonate will live on the algae, will live on the plant roots, will live in with the plant. They all live together. That's the whole point of them. They will
Rick needs another beer, I reckon.
That's gotten a little bit.
Rick
David
needs
Bellamy
another
then.
couple of beers. I reckon.
Yeah.
Right. So if we put two tomato plants in a 5,000 gallon,
Did I say that?
Yeah.
right, and it become that is your main filtration system. Is
Nonsense.
That gonna...
Yeah, but that's nonsense, isn't it? What
No,
I'm
but
saying,
it's
Nonsense,
it's
I
not.
say, old chap.
Not for everyone. But this is where
that's
it
the
needs
same
to be.
saying. Okay, that's the same saying. We're going to put like a 15-watt ozone unit in the corner, or
Right, so if
filter over it.
this
The
is
reality is,
my point is, if you're going to have that as a standalone filtration system,
I never said it was standalone.
No, but this is what I'm getting at. All right, to have it as a
Mickey, you've got to put
standalone
it right.
filtration system, because people think that they can do that, but how big would that need to be for a 5,000 gallon pond?
That was another gimmicky thing this year, wasn't it?
If you're filtering a 5,000 gallon pond and you put that on the side, it's a bonus, isn't it? If you
As a standalone system, don't dodge the question, politician. As a standalone system, how much would you need?
If your surface area, your 5,000 gallon pond is 24 meters cubed, squared, because it can't be cubed, because the surface area, I'm just getting you ready to be sure. I'll go for 50.
50 what?
50.
If your surface area, your pond is 20 feet squared or 20 foot whatever,
yeah,
you double it for your filtration of vegetable filtration.
There you go. Right. So as a standalone system,
I never said it was standard.
No, it's not. But I have people in the shop saying this is what they're doing.
Yeah, but so what you're saying is anybody that puts your
I'll
average
figure you
window
going.
box trough on the pond might as well just throw it in fucking bin.
Exactly.
Not as a. If you're going to,
If it's the only thing,
like
yeah,
that,
but
it's
if
beneficial
with other stuff.
It's only
It just
beneficial as
have
an
a
add-on.
shit.
Yeah, but if you can bring that shit in and use it to create tomatoes,
Yeah, then you can have shitty tasting tomatoes.
They taste
It is like the people, people say, "Oh, I've got 2 lilies in my pond. I've got a 10,000 gallon pond, and I've got 2 lilies in it, so that should get rid of my nitrates."
not at all.
Lilies consume very little nitrates, do they? Lilies are one of the worst plants for consuming it.
But they give good sun protection.
Yes, they do. If they grow, if you don't,
You want to plant
We don't
that's
eat
outside the pond, right? If your lily's in the pond, it drags the shit in. It sits in the pond. It's shit. But if you've got a plant that's on the outskirts, in a trough or whatever, that you can harvest and take away, it takes away. A lily congregates and sits in shit.
What happens if you do it like Vince did and put him in a suspended trough?
I'm just
David Bellamy.
Away or in. It's like giving back.
Right then. So the next bit, the last
won't
section of the
won't
question,
gild a
ladies
lily,
and
will he?
I'm going to get right down into it. David Bellamy, isn't
the
it?
last section of the question is dwell time and flow rates.
What? Dwell time?
What
Dwell
now?
time and flow rates. Pros and cons.
What time?
Dwell
time
and flow rates.
The longer I spend in the club, the more I get chucked out. Dwell time, flow rates. After half an hour, I get removed.
There we go. Quick answer. Next question. Right. Sorry, Tom. If any of that made absolutely any fucking sense, I'll be extremely surprised.
But you need what you're saying is contact time, right? Really?
Contact time with the that's right.
Yeah.
How do you all feel about the interest rates going up on the old water charges? An average of difference between £31 a year or 35% for people on a meter. What are your opinions on the announcements and the costs of the increase of such?
It's never going to be positive, is it?
No.
Right. Okay. So apparently, Labour have come across this big black hole full of debt that no one knew was there before. All right?
22 billion.
22 billion.
Nobody.
Because of that, right?
course they didn't.
Apparently,
No, of course
all
they
of
didn't.
these water companies.
Can we all say it as collective bunch of dickheads? I mean,
right.
as you
Apparently, right, all of these water companies have basically pissed all their money out to all their shareholders.
No, they haven't done that. Nobody would do anything like that. Who would do it?
Right?
The British public.
Hear me out. So apparently, this 35 to whatever percent on the bills, and people down the south will see a 51% increase in their yearly bill.
Great.
Right.
Yeah, so you'd be paying 50%
this is all going back
more
into the infrastructure,
for your
so we
9
get
times
cleaner
recycled
water. But the bit they didn't say is when.
Are you Trent Water?
No,
Not me,
The Thames.
I'm
The
Thames.
Thames.
Yeah.
That's the one that's gone bankrupt.
Gwen says,
Anglian
I'm
water.
on a meter.
Anglia Water,
Thank
we're
God I've
Anglia
got a
Water.
small pinny.
Right,
Yeah,
so
I'm angling
the
water.
costs, all right, you can't get away from. They're going to be what they're going to be, but you just need to monitor what you're using, especially if you're on a meter and you're trying to make them ends meet. Try and keep
Rude
that
if you're on a
water
smart
in
meter.
your pond as much as you can. That is.
I'm not on a
if you're
meter.
drum
The
filter
simple
trickling into
solution,
you.
anybody that's on a meter, wherever
Not
your
me,
mains
Jeff.
comes in,
I'm not on
wherever
a
your
meter,
mains
Jeff.
comes in, put a T in it and pipe it straight to your house before the meter.
Not
Yeah, but if you look,
There's a simple solution to it. It's not like you're going to get electrocuted. You're just going to get wet.
Yeah.
but if you look on the adverts on the telly, apparently if you donate £2 a month to Africa, they can have clean water. Well, why can't we have it for £2 a month?
I just
I've
pull
often
my
wondered the
neighbour's.
same.
I just pull my neighbour's hose over the fence.
I'm moving to Africa.
What does he say about that, Tony?
Well,
See,
only when
I
only when he's out.
Oh, sorry.
See, I can't really comment because my waters run a completely different way from most people. So
Does it run uphill then?
Yeah.
No, it's free.
No,
I don't
I'm-
know where it's coming from.
You're from a borehole, are you?
No, well, I've got a
Feed
small
off.
holding, so I'm on small holding rates, which drops me below the average anyway. And I do also have a well, so I
she
can't
sells it to the
comment. I'm
community.
sorry. Yeah, basically.
Shows out.
Gwen wants me to come and cut a meter out and bypass it.
Yeah, it's
Or do,
the
or do
water.
do
the
what
water
I do.
situation.
There's a new business idea.
Do what I do, and that is
Bypassthemeter.com.
cement over the top of the meter, right? And then put loads of gravel on it and park a car on the top, and then they can never get to the meter to have a look. And then when they come along and draw blue lines on the path, when they're fucked off, you go out and scrub them all off again.
And spray them somewhere else.
we've
And when
got
they dig the hole, they
percentage,
don't find nothing.
47% in our area stop paying big wages to people who can't do their jobs. Here.
He looks well, Gary Coy, as well.
Gary.
You look really well.
I actually, over there, I thought I'll have a quick look at our Gary's channel. That might be scaring people away with that face or thinking it's a horror channel rather than a toy channel. Just saying. Might want to change your profile picture for something more slightly koi related. Just because you drew a little fish in it doesn't necessarily mean people know what you're doing.
Where's the fish?
It's
there.
Gary's koi for tuna.
Gary's koi fish 625. He's got 625 fish in his pond.
I'm looking at the skull. Skull.
That will get me somewhere. Jail. Only if they catch me, mate.
No, I've got to prove you've done it.
No one goes to jail anymore unless you don't do anything wrong.
Yeah, see, Lincolnshire's so far behind, they don't even know where I'm getting water from. I'm not even kidding. They've got no idea where I'm getting my water from.
Don't know. Estimated bill.
Thames Water can't even find my income in Maine.
Yeah, but exactly. I'm the same here, so it's fine.
Their estimated is lower than what I'd pay if I was metered for the amount of water that I put through.
No wonder it uses so much water. He's got shares in it.
I do, yeah, I know. That's the thing, isn't it? If you're going to waste it, be part of it.
Yeah, I agree.
My missus is checking outside now to see if there's any water cops knocking about.
Water cops?
I've got to go deal with a child. Bear with me for a second.
Right, we have literally, officially exhausted all our questions for the evening. So it's time for the random bullshit hour.
Nice.
As you were,
I thought we'd already done the bullshit.
No, that was all serious stuff. That was all serious stuff. Everybody's going to be looking at this channel thinking we can get some sound, solid advice here.
You want some bullshit?
Now we want to entertain them with a little bit of bullshit. So fire at will.
We could do like one. How do you improve the sashi on your kahaku?
A knife?
Yeah, number 10.
No, that wouldn't work.
It's not going to work.
Number 10.
It's a good question, isn't it? I just invented it. I don't know the answer. I'm hoping
You've
you
invented two things this evening, Rick.
Mate, I invent everything every day. I wake up every day like it's a daydream and I invent stuff. It's like, wow.
You've met me, Gaz.
About time you've got a few patents on it, then, Rick.
Of you just could have a picture of a koi related. Oh dear.
You're good, mate. They'll get you in trouble, wouldn't they?
Come on then. Somebody bring up something. Oh, hang about. Right. When she comes back, nobody say help.
Ooh, what are we doing?
Lisa, who's that guy across from you? Is that the guy that we're giving all that?
Why don't we just freeze like this?
Is that your better half? Good boy.
Yeah.
All right, mate.
He does a good Phil Mitchell.
Why?
Get out,
Does he?
Go on.
Get out, man.
Boy, get out my pub.
Cracks
That
me
could
up.
be Oscar winning. That couldn't it? Get out my pub.
You should
Peter
eat
says-
Donald Duck.
No.
Peter says my estimated bill was 3 times what we used. So now what? So now bills for 3 years. What?
The bad bit is, right, water bills for us, right, you get a water bill and then you get charged
that a line?
sewage.
As well.
Sewage is on what
top.
you used. So if they get that wrong, then your sewage is double.
Did anybody else know that Peter was fluent in Swahili?
There you go.
They actually put me a water meter in, but I saw the guy doing it. I said, "What are you doing?" I'm putting a water meter in. And no, you're not. He said, everybody's having them. I said, "You're not putting one on mine." Well, he said, "We've got to." I said, "No, you haven't." If I don't want one, you don't have to put it on.
Did you smash his face in, Jeff, and hide him and bury him under the pond?
So he didn't put one in. I don't have a water meter.
What did he
I
do with
won't
his
have one.
van and his gear and his tools?
That's under the
They went on
swimming pool.
eBay.
He put them on eBay.
You,
So the
you,
answer
Buried
is,
underneath the swimming pool and the decking.
on the back of the head, bury him under your pond, and you can have as much water as you want.
you can get
Yeah.
you can get a rebate on your water for ponds, can't you? If you can prove that your water is going to soak away rather than drains.
Yeah.
Yeah, but your soak
Yes,
away's got to be a certain
The
size, hasn't it?
soakaway has
Yeah.
got to be a minimum of 5 meters away from your property,
Yeah.
and capable.
And it's got to
of
be a
dealing
certain
with
size
water
as well.
waste.
I was going to say, it depends on the amount of leakage going into it as well.
5 meters? My God,
It's
it's
got-
500 meters
that's-
long.
No, that's a minimum. It's got to be a minimum of 5 meters away from your property and capable of dealing with the literage that you're pouring into it.
And it depends on whether or not it's ground soak away or whether or not it goes to a gravel soak away as well. All depends as well on that one.
If you look at what Frank's written, he's got it on the ball.
Frank says the trick is to ask for the meter on the feed to the pond and then run a trickle out to the soak away. Then you don't have to pay for the water to be returned.
Yeah.
With a wink. Can't wink. Hang about. There you go.
Oh, you've done well there, Gus.
I did, but I can't do it with this side.
I'm
Can you?
impressed.
Can you do it, Bob?
Yeah.
I don't look like a spastic doing it that way.
Well, you did anyway.
I can't do it without doing my mouth as well.
My issue is, right, I'm not being funny, right? A
Oh,
pond
bless.
does not need that much fresh water.
No, I don't think it does either.
No, that's the thing, Rick. What? Right. Let's educate everybody. Why does everybody replace all the water and put it back in again all the time? Then there's no need for it. They should just maintain the water that they've got in there. Tell
There's
them,
a
Rick.
massive thing, right?
Educate the masses.
You have to flip it through, don't you?
The old school thought of thought, if you could grow fish and do ponds, you had to change 10% of the water every week. Someone wrote that down as a thing, like a real life thing.
This
Real
man in
life.
this book did it, didn't he?
Everywhere, in every book, everything you read says, "Oh, you got to change 10% of the water every week." Right? In reality, why would you change 10% of water that's better than the shit you're putting back in?
Yeah.
I
Oh,
don't
yeah,
get
because
it.
you're taking all the stuff out, aren't you? That you put in. When you put it in, when you put it back in, you're putting all these dechlorinators in. You're going through your big blues, and then you're going through these 3-stage filters.
Jeff,
and
can
you're
I be
putting
honest with you?
dechlorinate. Well,
Like, I've never used a chlorinator or a big blue in my fucking life. Oh, I have.
no, I am.
Yeah, what you're saying is that you don't use them anymore. And your
I've
fish
used
still
them
fine.
and actually turned around and said, "Well, what is in that?"
I don't
Even-
use them.
What now? Right then. All right. So the other answer of the question is, what do you use instead?
Well, if the water source coming in is shit, don't use it.
Well, the thing is, we all change water, don't we? Just by purely cleaning our filters.
Yeah, but you've got rain butts right coming in from your house. You've got whatever source of water you've got. If
Use the
gonna
RO
use
water
10%,
that falls out the sky.
I'm not being funny. We put in drums for people and then turn around and put catchment for the drum to pump the clean water because the drum uses X amount of water, you get a load of shit out, it settles. 90% of that water is now fine to put back into the pond. You might go, oh, well, that water could be dirty, but it's less shitty than the water you're going to pump in from the hose pipe.
Especially if you live down south, sinners are it's been recycled 9 times.
All water's been recycled a millions. Water is being recycled forever. There is no fresh.
Even with my most delicate fish, like the betas and the killifish and things like that, I don't dechlorinate.
I've never used dechlorinator in my.
I'm not saying you shouldn't use dechlorinate, but you should have a brain. If you can take your water from a drum, settle it, and you get a choice of using free water that's got no chlorine or bad shit in it, or water from the tap that looks clear, but it's not great, what are you going to use? Dump that and use it? I don't get it. Just use the better water. And if you have to add minerals, it's a lot cheaper than dechlorinating, getting rid of the heavy metals from that water.
Depends how many barrels you got round your house, though, doesn't it? Because half the time mine are empty in the summer.
Red arrows?
And also during the afternoon.
Barrels.
You've had too many beers now.
No, you can never have too many beers.
You can't. You can't.
No,
At the
he's
end
as
of the
thick as
day,
a fart now.
it's the water we've got is all the same water from everywhere on the planet. You might be sold your water from Thames water that's full of chlorine and ammonia because it's good for drinking. It's not going to kill you, but it's shit water.
It is.
Do you remember us the other week, Rick, having a look at somebody's channel, and I told you it was called
From the team here.
hang about, let's change this.
No, that wasn't me, Gas.
What was his channel name? Tom's Koi Videos now, but it was called the Chagman Part 2.
Oh yes, the Chagman. Yeah.
Remember the Chagman, and we talked about
Yeah.
the food that right. Well, he sent a little video saying, "I watched your video. I'm interested and wondering what the gentleman might think to these fish now that are 3 to 4 years old, which have been grown on that food, which are leaves." And he's done it in landscape, not in portrait, not landscape, but you'll still get the gist of the size of these fish that he's produced. These are 4-year-old, I think. The biggest of which I think was 97 cm. And that's what he's managed to achieve with the chags that he's got.
What size is ours?
Look at that, man. We all look tiny. We're like postage stamps now to look at corner. That's the size of the fish he's managed to produce on that food that we were talking about and showing the other week.
Wow.
I'm not.
He's just interested to see know what you think.
I think they're fucking amazing. Anyone that's doing that is amazing.
And he's in France.
He's in France.
And he's done all that in that children's little paddling pool.
No, he's done it in his.
That's what he's done.
Right there. But he did say he'd be interested to see what you thought about the size of the chags and how well they've grown and developed.
But how many fish has he got in that pond?
12.
Yeah, so look at the size of it.
He's got way more than 12, Jeff. I just pulled the number at random.
I'm not being funny, right? He is doing a cracking job, right? That's a different world, isn't it?
Some nice facilities to do it in, haven't they?
Look at the size on that thing. That
It's
one
not
there
business
is a
bags
toe
or
side.
something like that.
The small one's a toe side there.
But chags is like, well, I'm not going to get funny, right? So the place I go fishing in France, he sent me a photo, and in 2020, he put a carp in the lake, yeah, at £20, right? £20. That's a big carp in 2020. It come out about a month ago. It's £62, right? 4 years later, a carp has gone from £20 to £60. If we're talking
massive,
fucking big fish,
off the scale compared to what that.
Oh, yeah.
So yes, that's great. But you're talking about a single colour fish that will grow massive given a good environment. And any food, he's feeding maize and whatever.
Let's have a look at what he's done with other fish that grow big. Sankey. Let's have a look at the skin quality, the colour development.
The name's in the channel, Chagman.
That's the thing. He can be called Cartman, isn't he?
If you are interested in seeing any Go Sankey, you'll not find him here. He has got one or two, but he's concentrating on trying to get a 100 cm chag. That's what he's trying to achieve.
He can do it literally easy, can't he? In that, what he's built there, he could do 120 centimetre chag.
If he fed some better food, is that what you're saying? If he fed,
no, I'm not saying that. Not at all. He can feed shit and he'll still do it.
In those
he can put some plants around the edge and still do it. I'm not saying that.
Can he put some veg filter on?
Veggie filter, yeah.
What about if you're using an RO system?
He'd do it quicker. He's created a good environment, and you can improve the environment, and you can improve the food. What he's done is create an environment where they will grow big.
Correct.
Chags grow big anyway, don't they?
No.
I'm going to grow big if you give me any more beer, but I'm not a jag.
I reckon you won't grow a single inch if you'd drunk another 12 beers.
I'm going to challenge that right now.
I'm going to try next year, right, in my grow-on pond, just as a trial. I'm going to just feed them on Guinness. I'm going to feed them on Guinness and see what happens.
Guinness?
Is that why I'm so short?
Guinness.
What's a Guinness?
Guinness.
Do you think drinking stunted my growth?
Are you going to make Guinness into pellet form?
Yeah, I'm going to try it. Yeah,
going to be a water additive.
Guinness is
My old mate used to love Guinness.
After he's put it through himself, he's going to then add it to the water.
Yeah, just for next year as a trial.
All these food trials, right, have been done a million times. That's what people do. That's what every college does. That's what every food manufacturer does. That's what everyone does. Unless you put it into context of two perfectly matched environments, then you can get a contrast between two feeds.
Sorry, Tom.
But no one will do that. Tom Churchill, sorry, mate. We are being serious. Are we not?
No, he left a comment on the video saying he'd be interested to see what you thought to the fish. The nice fish out there, Rick.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well done, Rick. Good answer.
No, Tom's the mate. I love Tom. He's coming to help me do my settlement chamber soon.
What, all the way from France?
Yeah. Oh no, that's not.
Not that Tom. Oh God damn it! Sorry, Tom. Unless you're coming.
What Tom's doing, right, is he's growing fish, and he will grow a meter-long chag piece of piss, and
I reckon there's a big keen carp angler as well, mate. Look at it.
And if you tell Tom to look onto RH Fisheries growing carp here, and Eurowakra growing carp in Hungary, and you'll get a comparison of length, weight. Eurowakra have got like 100. Just the fish they're growing is insane. 100-pound carp, like plenty of them. 100-pound carp's like as big as a sofa. It is huge, like huge.
Yeah, but it's also as big in length, width, and depth in it. They are like a slab of a fish, aren't they?
But at the end of the day, if they were challenged to grow them longer than 1.4 meters or whatever those carp are, they'd do it. They're only doing it because the anglers want to pay the money to catch the heavy fish.
Yeah,
it's a weird environment, isn't it? It's a weird thing to say. I'm going to pay you £1,000 a day to catch a fat fish.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they're doing. A fat greedy fish that's really easy to catch.
Yeah.
I wonder what a carp steak tastes like.
The carp's what?
I've eaten carp.
Carp.
Yeah, I've eaten.
It's really nice, mate. Jeff, we tried it.
Nice. Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Jeff ate it with.
It was nice. It was like in a tomatoey type sauce. It was really nice. We had it for breakfast, weirdly enough, but it was damn nice.
But that's the weird thing. So for us to grow a koi big, the koi looks neat. It look good, doesn't it?
Yeah, we're not bothered about it. It's got to look torpedo shaped, doesn't it?
You'd hope so. And to get a fish that looks pretty and a meter long is amazing. Difficult. Grow a carp a meter long and look big, fat, and ugly.
So Tom's doing quite well because those were 97 cm and looked quite nice, didn't they?
Mate, he's done a cracking job, but he also needs to. It depends on what his challenge is.
Would you be more impressed if he'd done it with a Sankey?
Yeah, 100%. Well, of course you would. Yeah, 100%.
A chag's probably one of the closest to the carp kind of strain, isn't it?
Yeah, they grow massive. They grow big easily.
You could quite easily misidentify a chag for a common carp. Close-ish. They are close, aren't they? There are some people out there that believe they may very well have had a chag and it's been a common carp.
There's a difference. If you put them in the show vat, they change colour.
Ah, right. Yeah, now then, there you go.
A normal carp will always change colour to its background, whereas a shag shouldn't.
Whereas the shag wouldn't.
I'm not saying it's going to turn pink if you put it in a pink pond.
No, but if you put it in a blue
Not an
bowl,
octopus.
Be funky.
That would be quite cool.
So out of the 92 people that are out there watching, have you got any questions for the Christmas panel?
There's no way 92 people watching this again.
No,
I have a
right.
question.
You're right. There's 91 now.
Yes,
I have a question.
It is as big as you think it is.
Shut your face, you. It's not my question. Close though. Right. So out of all the varieties of different koi, what would you say is the slowest grower?
Who?
Out of all the different varieties of koi.
Who are you asking?
All of you. It's an open question to the whole panel. What is the slowest variety? Yeah, but Deutsch what?
For
Any
me,
Deutsch, I think.
Nah, not Deutsch. For me,
Ginrin.
Goshki or Platinum.
Shit, yes. No way. You reckon
Hey?
Platinum's one of the slowest growing? Really?
Good Platinums are a fucking nightmare.
Right.
Yeah,
So
I've
even
got
though it's
one.
a single colour, it's still the
Yeah,
slowest.
it's a single colour. Everyone says single colours grow.
Yeah, but it's also gin, and gin will hold that growth back.
It doesn't in the Yamabuki, does it? They grow like fucking wildfire.
Why
You're
does
not
it- why does the platinum
not in
slow-
comparison to a non-Ginrin.
So does the
thrashing.
platinum slow down because it's not also metallic and gin?
No, they're not giving
Pearl.
They're no a normal platinum ogon, right? Is
Non-Ginrin.
platinum ogon, isn't it?
It's the metallic
white fish.
Pure white shiny fish grows really slow compared to a yellow shiny fish.
Why?
I've got a 60 cm one out in my pond.
Oh yeah,
and it's
28
only just
years
over
old.
this eye. No, it's only just over this eye. It's when I got off Grafty.
Ah, there you go. And
So why
turned a
did
bit
it
yellow,
go?
yeah.
Sort of middle of last year, I think.
Crafty always sells them big.
Don't say.
Crafty sells them big.
It
Sells
was
them
about
big.
that's 32 cm when I got it.
I'm just saying, from everything you do, like, see, if you do platinums and Yamabukis, Yamabuki will grow faster by a country mile.
Why though? Why is that?
Okay.
Because the platinums, to get pure platinums, you have to pick the whitest one, and the whitest one might not be the fastest growing one. So you breed from that, and you end up creating
And
this
then you
slow
end up
growing.
creating that slower growing cycled fish.
Same with Ginrin, same with whatever. And Goshki are another one. There's most farms, Goshki only grow to 60, 70 centimetre at best. There's a couple that push that boundary a bit. But
Are we ready, ladies and gents? The autistic goalkeeper likes what he says, or what he sees. Good night, beautiful people. I have to be up early tomorrow morning. Great love.
sorry, Carl, we missed you today. He came into the farm today, but we all missed
Great
him.
love as always. See you all next year. Merry Christmas and all the
Merry
best for
Christmas.
2025.
Merry
Thank you very
Christmas.
much, Autistic.
Yeah, Merry
Let's
Christmas.
go.
Good night.
Great love and beautiful people. That's what
Yeah,
we
he,
want.
he bought presents from me, didn't he, to Vince and Dave.
Oh, bless
I
him.
see how that is, autistic goalkeeper. Thank you very much.
He is a lovely lad.
Has he got? Actually, I had a look on his channel the other week. I know other week you were doing, and you were having a mess about with his filter system. You were struggling a little bit with it. Has he managed to get it sorted? Do you know? Or
I don't know.
yeah, mention it.
No, I don't watch YouTube. It does my head in. It's full of weirdos.
Funny, mean on it and all.
Thanks, Rick.
Takes one to know one, doesn't it?
But yeah, I
Not
mean,
really.
you
David
are,
Bellamy impressionist.
you are a YouTuber, and you are on YouTube quite regular.
Gotta love it.
Any more, ladies and gents, before I bring 2024 to an end.
Any
Oh,
questions?
cool. A clapping
Okay.
close. Could you do a clapping close?
We could, yeah. A round clapping close.
What does
I was
everybody want to
joking.
achieve in
Vicky,
2025?
straight on it.
Oh, I've got a question, guys. I got a question. Ready?
Oh, go on.
Hang about. Hang about. No, Lisa, is this your question?
No, it's Trevor's.
No.
Can we hear it from Phil Mitchell? Go for it.
Go on then.
What does everybody want
Hang
to
about.
achieve?
Hang about. Trevor, can you do it in the style of Phil Mitchell?
Wait. So, what does everybody want to achieve in 2025?
That was epic.
What does everybody want to achieve in 2025?
A new body.
They're overrated, Lisa.
What do you want to achieve in
Yeah, I know.
2025, Rick?
I'm
Koi
building
related,
something
surely.
up for speed.
Oh, koi related. I was going to say a bigger willy, but I'm not having that. So,
Oh, there's no hope.
Overrated, Rick.
There's no hope.
2025. The Welsh Dragons to take over the world of Go Sankey.
Okay.
That's a pretty good.
Send me some of them.
Pretty good one.
Hmm.
And it. What do you want to achieve for 2025?
Want to have a good a year as this year as I did in the koi department, and continue to develop and grow that to be one of the best in the country.
Vicky?
You're here. A new boyfriend.
I wish, honey. I wish. Happy, healthy. Yeah, just happy and healthy.
What, you or the fish?
Everything in general.
Tony?
Oh, me.
No, the other Tony at the side of you.
That one.
Thank you very
Oh,
much.
bless
Tony,
him,
at
he
the side of
paused
you.
and
Chris?
everything.
He's lost for words. That's weird for a man not to be speak.
Go on, Chris.
Tony, what would you like to achieve for
Go on,
2025?
No koi losses.
Ooh.
No,
Yeah, that's fair, Tone. That's fair, mate.
Yeah.
Chris? Good morning, Chris.
Same as this year, really. No issues, and happy koi and healthy koi by the end of the year.
Marcus?
I'm going to be.
This is your chance to shine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chance.
You should have it all go down.
As you can see on my name, Koizuku Koi is going to be hitting the scene next year.
What scene?
The koi scene.
Oh, the koi
Yeah.
scene.
And
Come
you're
on,
going to be
Mark.
selling Christmas trees.
We look forward to it. We look forward to that happening as well, Marcus, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Cricket bat. What would you like to achieve for 2025?
Being able to get enough money together to get my pond bigger.
Jeffrey?
To have another pond.
To have another pond?
Yeah, like another one.
And for myself, ladies and gentlemen, I shall end it with this. Feck all. Thank you very much for tuning in this evening. You've been an absolute bunch of stars. Usual thing, guys. If you've been enjoying this kind of content, do us a huge favour.
Are you stopping already?
Yeah.
Not no more now.
Only
Just
a few hours, isn't it?
I were on a
Never
roll
out.
then. I were on a roll then and lot, but no, I'm going to carry on now. It's over to you, Rick. Go for it.
We're going to close this year and this week and this month with the last ever episode of the GKP. Tonight, it's been good. It's been nice to see you. Crafty, Vicky, Marcus, Chris, Anthony, Lisa. Cricket bat, don't know your first name. Could be
Sarah.
Pleasure to meet you. We're signing off on this evening. Good night.
Cricket bats.
I don't
All together. Cricket bat.
Christmas trees.
Oh,
Bar humbug.
Oh, here we
Oh,
go, Mrs. Auntie
No,
Chris.
that's Chris's
Of
bit.
course
that
it
bow.
will be.
We're not
There's
even
always
listening
one
to
in there.
live. Can't
Always
help
one.
Yeah.
Rick's like a puppet.
Yeah.
This 24-hour live that we are going to do. Oh my God. That's all I'm saying. Good
Yeah.
night, all.
got it.
See you
Sorted.
all. Now then, hang about. Quick question before we do go. Who's
Uh-huh.
available for the 2nd of
Yes.
January?
Yeah, I am.
Ricky, you
Always.
available for the 2nd of January?
like I do anything interesting.
See you
I'm
all
gonna
on the
bring a
2nd of January. Merry Christmas to all. Thank you very much for your support for 2024. See you all in 2025.
guys.
Have a good
See you
one,
later.
guys.
Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas.
Happy New
everyone.
Year.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New
Yeah.
Year.
Till
Cricket
next week.
bats.